Well, what is happening, Zack Snyder fans, Netflix fans, movie fans alike? Welcome back to the channel. I am Dial, and this is another edition of My Life. And I have once again taken over movie madness and entertainment. Those
It
of you
was you
watching,
the whole time. I knew it.
yes, it was me. I was hacking the system the entire time. It was me all along. But anyway, welcome guys. For those of you who are watching on the MME channel, you guys have seen me around. I'm an MME member. It's your boy Dial. We are once again joining here with my live. And joining with me today, I have my two colleagues, my two fellow MME members. First of all, we have the greatest raptor on the internet, Little Movie Perp.
Hi.
And I am joined by the madman himself, Max. How's it going, sir?
Hey, I'm really looking forward to talking about Rebel Moon. See how Perp's wrong, maybe. I don't know. Is he
What?
the? Yeah. How did you found out he's the greatest raptor on the internet? Wow.
I mean, I don't know any other raptors on the internet. Is
Yeah,
I
there?
that
know
makes me
some other
great.
raptors on the internet.
I'm exclusive. That makes me great.
Yes, absolutely. But you guys have seen the title, and I mean, if you guys have been watching MMA, you guys know we've already been talking about this movie quite a bit. But this stream is going to be fully dedicated to the most recent Zack Snyder film that premiered on Netflix, Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire. We are going to get fully into details with this movie. This is the stream we're going to talk about it. Before we get into it, let us look into it. There's only one comment we have. We have Anthony. He said, "Where is everyone?"
Very appropriate.
I don't know.
Everyone's done talking about Rebel Moon.
Yeah, I think
But we're
everyone-
just getting started.
right. I think everyone's just tired of of talking about Rebel Moon and hearing people talk about Rebel Moon, so they're probably Rebel Mooned out. But you know, I at least haven't had a good chance to get fully in depth with this, so that's what we're here to do. But without further ado, let us get into Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire. And as always, we have to remind the viewers out there, if they haven't fully read the title, this is a spoiler-filled discussion. We're going to talk about this movie as if you've already seen it. It's on Netflix. If you haven't seen Rebel Moon and you don't want to know any details about this movie, go watch it, come back and listen to the replay. That is your one and final warning. And I could tell, getting into this discussion, I'm going to piss some people off today.
Uh-oh.
I am going to piss some people off today. Oh, we have one more guest coming in. Thank goodness. Joining with us today, once again, we have Blue Jay. How's it going, sir?
I can't wait to talk about this film, if you could call it that.
Why does everyone sound down?
Wait, if you could call it a film? Come on, that's a little too.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a little too harsh.
There's already bias.
Okay, I'm
There's
not.
already
I'm not
bias.
liking the
This is
vibe
an
he's coming in with
anti-Snyder
here.
bias panel.
Yeah.
Very clear.
You could call it a film? Aren't you the one that defended the Michael Bay robots?
That doesn't mean at the very least they're.
I like how everyone knows
we
exactly
don't have
which robots
an
Max is
extended
talking
edition of
That
those
exact
movies
scene.
so far, so
That exact hot take that he had, he will never be forgiven.
it's
It's his Waterloo.
I thought we need to move on. I thought we're better than this.
That's
Hey,
true.
hey,
Why are we bringing it up? That's whataboutism. What are you
Dude,
doing?
we got bigger fish to fry, and I'm just gonna start off this sport discussion with this comment that the George just left, because we're gonna have a lot of differing opinions about this movie. There's gonna be a lot of heated takes on this. With this, we got to turn off the music because this is gonna get very serious. It's about to get very serious, ladies and gentlemen.
What is this, a funeral? Jesus Christ. What's going on?
No, like, let me just start off with this. If you guys have been following my channel since the beginning, you guys know I'm a Zack Snyder fan. I am. I really enjoy Zack Snyder as a director. He's probably one of my favorites. I make no apologies for that. I know that he's probably one of the most controversial filmmakers out there. And I don't know. It's just I can't really do anything about that. You know, like there are some criticisms I understand with Snyder. I don't think he's a perfect director. You know, but I've loved the majority of his films. You guys know how much I love Man of Steel. I loved the director's cut of Watchmen. I loved Zack Snyder's Justice League. I loved 300. I loved. I even liked his Legends of the Guardians movie, the Owls movie. That was pretty good, and I liked his remake of Dawn of the Dead. The only three movies that I didn't really care for is Sucker Punch, Army of the Dead, and Batman v Superman. Those are like the only three I really had issues with. But as far as him as a director, like I can't deny he's probably one of the most unique directors I've ever seen. Like when you see his movies, you know that's a Zack Snyder film. Like as far as his visuals, the way he directs action sequences, the way he's able to get certain performances out of actors, like you know, I'm not gonna make any apologies for that. If you're a Zack Snyder hater, then be a Zack Snyder hater. I don't really care.
No, DL, if you're a Zack Snyder head, what's wrong with you?
And I'm sure like the Snyder people, the Snyder cult, the Snyder fans like looking at me being like, oh, I'm a traitor because I don't love everything that he's done. I don't. I don't just.
Can I give you a perspective of why lately maybe Snyder fans are a little hard on criticism against his newer stuff? It's because a lot of them really do want the Snyderverse to continue. And so in order for that to happen, is like these newer movies need to be like received really, really well, because anything else, if they're like bad, if they're terrible, that gets them farther away from Snyderverse, reemerging. It's just a setback. That's why I think they go a little bit harder these
I
days.
agree with you, Perp.
Yeah.
I said if I think there is a chance for things to continue, but it really has to be like a masterpiece and all that pressure. Like, wow, you let Zach go. Look what he's doing. And I don't think this was that. Even though I enjoyed it more the second time, I didn't finish it the second time. The expectations were gone. I find that I enjoy movies a lot more the second time with all
Sure.
the expectations.
It's also it also feels like you're meeting the movie on its own terms. You're seeing
Yeah.
it for what it really is rather than
Instead
what
of
you were expecting.
Yeah, you're instead of what you perceive it's going to be, and
Exactly.
all this baggage, especially with Zach. Yeah.
I've
So
even literally heard there's even a popular saying that you've the second time you see a movie is the real viewing. That every movie requires like two viewings to really understand or get any film. The second viewing is the real viewing. That's like a popular saying too.
okay, so you guys brought up the Snyderverse. And here's my opinion about that. This is the only time I want to talk about Snyderverse ever again. As I said, I love Man of Steel.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'm sure this probably won't be the last time, but this is the last time I want to address the Snyderverse people and all that, because I almost feel like I want to disown myself from the Snyderverse people after this. Because here's the thing. I loved you guys, man. I say this many times. I loved Man of Steel. It's my favorite Superman movie of all time. That is always has been. I had issues with Batman v Superman, but it had some really interesting elements in there. And then Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, and I was blown away by that. And at the time when it did come out, I did want them to continue the story. I did want to see Justice League 2 and 3. Of course, I was begging for them to do it. I was on the hype train with everyone else. However, we can't deny the fact this cannot be ignored anymore. This is what the Snyder cult people, the Snyder fans. This is what the Snyder fans don't understand. As much as we enjoy his DC films, objectively, they have not been well received by everyone.
No movie has objectively.
No, but as far as like the response that they want, they're not getting it. Man of Steel was split at best. Batman v Superman, people hated. Suicide Squad, people hated. Yes, people loved Wonder Woman, and we thought we were going to get back on track. No, then we get 2017 Justice League, and most people hated it. And then after that, after Aquaman, all the DC films have failed to even make a profit, with having no direction whatsoever.
COVID.
And also, there's no way that the studio was going to give Snyder the resources he wanted to continue those movies if the foundation was rocky from the beginning. We already saw if people really cared about this DCEU, if people really cared about these versions of the characters, they would have went out to see the previous films. But they didn't.
I kind of okay. Can I push back a little bit? I think even with a rocky foundation, I'm not saying that this is the case. There is precedent where something like, let's say, the Fast and the Furious. While the Fast and the Furious did make money in the beginning, it wasn't until 5 that I think everyone, even critics were like, okay, this series found its groove now. 5 on, right? And maybe I think that could still happen for Snyderverse, right? You could always find your groove at one point. It's not definitive. Just because it wasn't working doesn't mean it wasn't going to work later on. If they,
But there was no guarantee of that. That was the issue, though. There was no guarantee that it was going to be.
There's no guarantee with any movie, any franchise.
But this is just basic business. Like if all these movies before this was underperforming, logically you would think that this movie isn't just going to magically make all the money that they want to. Now, granted, they are still being very secretive about how successful the Snyder Cut was on Max. We still don't know the numbers of that. They're still being secretive about that, and it's very suspicious. But at this point now, where we are right now, with James Gunn taking over everything, and everybody saying, "Oh, sell the Snyderverse stuff, sell Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix," that can't happen. It cannot happen. It's a conflict of interest, first of all, because James Gunn is trying to build a new foundation with DC, and so you're going to have two rivaling universes combat with each other. That's not good. That's not good for that's not good for the publicity for their new DC they're trying to establish. Also, I keep bringing this up. Do you know how much money it would cost to even use rights to those characters? Batman and Superman alone will cost them millions, possibly billions of dollars. And you're saying you want to use Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, Cyborg, Darkseid, all of them in one movie on this other streaming service? That will cost them so much money. So I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The only way that could happen is if James Gunn's DC universe crashes and burns. Like crashes and burns. That's probably the only way that's even possible. Not saying that I don't want it to happen. I'm still interested in Justice League 2 and 3. But we have to think logically from a business standpoint. It's not going to happen. It's not. And I'm not saying this to prey on your downfall or try to poop on your enthusiasm. I'm just trying to be realistic about this. So that's the last thing I want to say about it. So when it comes to Rebel Moon, is there somebody in the background? Is there a noise in the background?
Bro, is that Brucifer humming?
No.
There's like a humming going on.
I heard a humming.
Everybody's mic is muted, and I was thinking, you muted.
I hear like a. I thought it was Brucifer.
Yeah, that was very odd. It's like a ghost.
Yeah, I hear it too. I was muted as well. I don't know what that is.
I thought it was Max.
You still hear it?
Yeah, I still hear it. Well, wait.
What is that?
No. Your mic's too good, Bruce. I think it was picking up like your little breathing or something.
Yeah, my mic is nowhere.
That was a melody. That wasn't breathing.
Your mic does sound.
Unless he breathes in melody.
Your mic does sound a little bit loud, Bruce.
Hold on.
Like that. That sounded kind of creepy.
Yeah, it was.
I like
creepy.
I want more.
How's that?
I want to I want to bust out the Ouija board.
Okay, yeah, I think that's it. By the way, joining with us on the stream, I forgot to introduce this man from the Kingdom of Nerds YouTube channel. We have Brucifer. How's it going, sir?
Hello.
Pretty good, actually.
Any giveaways? What are I gonna write?
All the giveaways are done for the year.
Damn it.
Perp.
All right.
You weren't there.
I was there for a little bit, and then I'm the replay crew with Bruce's stuff.
It was a fun stream.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yes. Anyway, continuing on. So, it seems like Snyder has moved on with that era. Even though, yes, people are about to tell me, "Oh, but wait, Snyder recently did an interview saying that if he had an opportunity to continue,
well, you never know, DL. It could happen.
if it does happen, I will come back on this stream and tell everyone I was wrong. But right now,
Oh, that's not enough. You gotta
I don't think
raise the
it's
stakes a
likely.
little bit.
What you want? What do you guys want me to do? What do you guys want me to
Put
do?
on like a Max's Doctor Doom mask or something. You got to put on a mask. Do it without a shirt or something.
I don't know.
I
Okay,
don't know.
okay, we acting real crazy now. But anyway, so Snyder went and did a deal with Netflix to have him make his own movies and shows there. And it started when he did his Army of the Dead stuff. He released Army of the Dead, and then he had the prequel Army of Thieves. And I personally wasn't a fan of Army of the Dead. I thought it was a little too self-indulgent, and I think that was the start of when I started to see more of the flaws of Snyder, because Netflix, what they like to do when they give filmmakers their own projects to do on their platform, they give them 100% creative control and do whatever they want. And with Army of the Dead, he not only directed, he wrote it, he did his own cinematography, and I started to see the flaws, and it's like, I don't think he should be doing everything himself. I know he's trying to experiment with different things and stuff like that, but I don't think it's fully coming around. Army of the Dead didn't really work for me. Army of Thieves I thought was okay. That was pretty solid, but he didn't direct that one. But the big project that he was going to do for Netflix is Rebel Moon. Originally, this was supposed to be a pitch that he gave to Lucasfilm for Star Wars, and I think this was before Disney acquired Lucasfilm. He gave a pitch to them, and they rejected him. And so he pretty much took that idea to Netflix, and they were like, "Yes, we'll let you do it. You can retool it the way you want to, and go crazy." So I was actually interested to see his version, like his sci-fi space opera. I was actually interested in seeing that because, I mean, yes, we got a little glimpse of what he would do in sci-fi in the beginnings of Man of Steel, but like to see him fully go out and do like his version of Star Wars, I was really excited to see that. I really think it would be intriguing to hit for the tackle of sci-fi genre, and he's once again not being shackled down with dealing with somebody else's property. Like, this is all his own creation. This is his own ideas. So I was open to seeing what happens. But at the same time, I was apprehensive because once again, he's doing everything on his own. He's writing the movie, doing the cinematography again for this, and I'm like, oh, I hope he reins it in a little bit better in this. So with Rebel Moon, they were going to split this into two parts. It was going to be a 2-part movie, and I was like, okay, sure, I'm up for it. Part 1, part 2. This is going to be a big story, influenced by Star Wars 7 Samurai, Battle Beyond the Stars, all that other stuff. I'm up for it. That's really cool. Though there was one little thing that kind of worried me also. That he already announced that there's going to be a director's cut of this movie. So the first version we're going to get is a theatrical cut that's PG-13. That's like two hours and some change. And then the director's cut is going to be 3 hours long. And
that's how you call it theatrical cut. Didn't it play in like 3 theaters or something?
I don't know. Like, what would you call this version if it's not the theatrical?
The PG-13
the family holiday cut.
Downscale cut. I would call it that.
Okay, now you need to turn down your mic, Blue Jay.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You call it the holiday family cut.
I thought it was the holiday family cut.
Yeah, we'll talk
That's
about
when they
that.
released it.
We'll talk about that holiday family stuff when we get into the movie. But so okay, fine.
Hey, thanks,
There's gonna be
in AOA. Member for 17 months, member for 2 months. Thank you so much.
Hey, awesome.
Screw AOA.
So there was going to be a PG-13 cut and a rated R cut, and I was like, okay, this seems to be a thing with Snyder, isn't it?
He pitched it to Blizzard and forgot.
It's just like, I mean, if the PG-13 cut is good, and like the director's cut was going to enhance the experience, then I wouldn't mind them having 2 cuts. But there was one thing that Snyder said during an interview talking about the director's cut. He was saying that the director's cut was a completely different movie. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. Wait, what? Okay. So.
But is it really a director's cut or just a rated R version?
He called it a director's cut.
He called it
it's different.
Yeah. Yeah, he said it was a completely different movie from the PG-13 film. And I was like,
I
that
really
got some
shit to say. I
Yeah,
got some shit to say
Yeah,
about that director's cut thing. We'll get to
they're
that
gonna
in a
have
minute.
yeah,
to
yeah. We'll get to
rename
there
it.
when we get there. But so that kind of gave me pause. I'm like, why is the director's cut so different? Why didn't you start out with this? Because like it would be different if this was like a wide release in theaters. This is Netflix. They can do whatever they want. They shouldn't be worried about making a rated R version, you know? And even yes, they did limited releases for like three locations for not even a week. That's nothing too. It's just like you should have just started out with a rated R cut because this is Netflix. Do whatever you want. But regardless of that, I was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I was excited to see this regardless. Let's see how the PG-13 cut comes out, and we'll see how it goes. So, sitting down and watching this, I watched this twice, by the way. Man, I was disappointed. I was disappointed. This, I said this before in previous streams, so I'm probably regurgitating some points, but this felt a lot like how I felt watching the theatrical cut of Watchmen and the theatrical cut of Batman v Superman. I can see a really good movie in here. There's some really, really good ideas. The performances are, for the most part, very solid. But it feels like stuff is rushed. It feels like stuff is cut out. It feels like stuff is weirdly structured together. It feels like it's trying too hard to be, it feels like it was originally supposed to be a darker film, but it's like it's cutting out all the violence that we know is there. I I don't understand what they were doing with this, man. It feels like Netflix was trying to recreate the hype of the Snyder cut again, of having two different versions. It's like
Mission accomplished.
it was completely unnecessary. Like this really ruined. I mean, I wouldn't say it's ruined, but it's really affected people's first opinions about this movie because I see a great movie in here. I feel like
Kelly.
it's it's really
Mm.
difficult for me because like I was a Snyder apologist, you know, like everyone's saying that he does the same thing over and over again. We've seen his tropes in movies, the slow motion, the desaturated colors, the dark tone, all that stuff. But I feel like he had so much potential with this movie. And I'm probably saying this now, and maybe when the director's cut comes out, I have a completely different opinion. But that's red flag number one. I have to wait for this feels like an assembly cut. This feels like the demo version of a video game. And then I have to wait for the actual release to come out later for stuff to make sense. I was disappointed. I was really disappointed. I want to come out here and say that this was awesome. I was so excited to see this movie, but I was so frustrated watching this. I really was. I had a similar like I barely felt anything for the characters. Like this was like a Rogue One issue for me, where like I barely felt for any of the characters because we don't get to know any of the characters. All these people.
I like Cora. I like Cora.
Cora is probably the best character in the movie. Um, and what's the robot's name?
Oh yeah, he was
Jimmy.
great.
Jimmy.
There's not a lot of him.
And then the villain of the movie I thought was good.
He surpassed my expectations because remember I was concerned about him, but he actually did the best. One of the best. Him and Cora.
But the rest of the people, rest of the group,
Blood Axe in the Charlie Hunnam character, I was really let down on.
My God,
I will say this about Cora: she had more training than Luke.
Oh, you see what he had to do there?
She didn't need any blue milk to get her going.
Well, they already established that she used to work
Yeah.
for the Imperium, so she's but a soldier before, so that makes more sense. But
I just like shitting on Star Wars fans about that.
well, there you go. But yeah, man, like I don't know, man. Like, I'm really starting the mysticism I have for Snyder is starting to fade away now. It really is. I'm not saying that he's bad. Like I still enjoy him as a director. I still enjoy a majority of his films, but like right now, it's just like Snyder can't be doing everything on his own. He can't. He's not a good writer. He's not. I hate to say that. He's not a strong writer. And it's proven, it's been proven with Sucker Punch, which he also wrote by himself. It was proven with Army of the Dead, and now it's proven with this. And
There's
maybe
very few good
we don't
writer
talk about Sucker
directors.
Punch.
And
We
actually,
don't talk about.
James Gunn is one of those rare occasions where he's a good writer director. See, I do give James Gunn props. He's a better writer director than Zach is. Even though I really like the world Zach sets up.
yes, even like the action scenes and like the style that he does with other films that I tend to like, this is not even his best effort in my opinion. Like I've seen better action scenes done in his other movies. Like once again, it's not bad from like compared to other action films this year. Like it's probably better than the majority of them, but even then, it's just like I'm not feeling like this is like his magnum opus. And is it because he's holding back for part two, or once again, is this because it's the PG-13 cut?
This is like it's a I still think it's a coherent watch. It's just you want more things from it. This is like a trailer to the other version.
Right. Now, let's talk about this PG-13. This is not a movie for families. This is not. There was no point. There was no point in making this PG-13.
It doesn't.
This
It
movie
does not
feels dark.
feel like a PG.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe Blue Jay.
Oh no, it doesn't feel PG-13. It doesn't feel like it. It has the look of an R-rated film. It's very brown. It's very just. It just has no as. Look, I like Zack Snyder. I like Man of Steel. I like Watchmen. I just don't think I don't like his tone that much. Like I'm not too crazy of his super. I mean, I even like Army of the Dead. I don't like this super serious, like people like to call it edge lord masculinity. That's what they call it.
What?
Damn.
Edgelord.
I mean,
Edgelord
I mean,
masculinity.
Wow.
I mean, that's what somebody called it. I mean, I honestly just feel whenever I'm watching, if you're gonna do like a space opera should be just like a sense of fun. It doesn't feel. I mean, there's some cool stuff in it. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't. It's like it's just 2 hours of. I mean, well, the first half was pretty decent. You know, the established core and all that stuff. I like Sophia Patella, but man, when she goes off that planet and meet all the other people, it's just 2 hours of that. It's just, hey, let's make an army the movie. That's what it basically is until the final act, I guess, where
To get
everything
back,
started to become. I don't know.
yeah, it's just
You
yeah.
said
To
Lord
get
of the
back,
Rings in space.
Yeah.
We're
yeah,
just walking around planets.
yeah, it's just like yeah. Here's my thing. Like, I don't have a problem with this movie being dark, but once again, this PG-13 is not like this. This still is not. I don't understand what they were trying to make this accessible to, because this is still really dark film. It still has brutal violence. It has. It has. I'm trying to be careful what I say. There's assault in this movie, attempted assault. There is prostitution. There's aliens probing people in like gross ways. Like, how am I supposed to show a kid this? Like, this.
Oh my god!
No,
You're
there
right.
could have been a lot worse ways that alien could have probed that human.
And like
No.
with the action scenes, like we can tell that there were like some really brutal deaths, but they keep cutting away or they edited out the blood. Like, we know it was supposed to be a brutal scene there.
Oh my God! Trust. Oh my God! That scene where Cora was fighting those guys at that barn. I was like, you can. It's so blatant, so obvious that like there should be blood splewing around, and there's none of it. Like they got like air in their bodies. There's nothing. But it's a cool fight, but there's nothing there's nothing inside of those people. And I'm just
Nothing.
oh
And
my
it's just
gosh.
like here that my biggest issue, and then I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna let you guys speak on your thoughts. This doesn't have to appeal to the same people to the same people that love Star Wars. This doesn't have to be Star Wars. This should be the antithesis of Star Wars. They should be worried about appealing to families or whatever. Because once again, it's Netflix. They should do whatever they want. But this should be an alternative to Star Wars, like Dune is trying to do, like Avatar is trying to do. Don't try to do the same thing. It's already bad enough that this pretty much feels like a Star Wars movie because this was originally a Star Wars pitch, which I don't have an issue with. But don't try to pretend like you're family friendly when you're not. You are clearly a dark science fiction movie,
Well,
and
PG
that's
13
okay.
isn't family friendly. It's just not,
But the Star Wars movies are, you would agree, it's a different PG-13 than this,
Yeah.
right? So it's just like they shouldn't be
Well,
worried
there was
about.
no killing of younglings.
Well, to be fair, stormtroopers are blind; they can't hit the side of a bus.
Oh, there was this one question that Figure Drawing had to everyone. Is it possible that we didn't like Rebel Moon because your tastes have evolved? Maybe you would have liked this movie in the past.
Oh,
No,
screw you, figure drawing. I'm just kidding. I think he's trying to say, maybe it wasn't Zack Snyder wasn't that good to begin with, and then your taste has evolved, so you don't
well,
like it as much. No.
no. If this movie came out before the sequel trilogy, for example, I still would have a big issue with it because I still don't care that much for the majority of the characters, but like I would say he kind of, at least for me, he kind of has a point. I do feel like my tastes have evolved because one of my biggest issues with Snyder is that while I do love his style, he's not trying to evolve as a filmmaker. He's always appealing to the same demographic. And I feel like he's able to do more. He's able to do more. I feel like he does. A lot of people don't think so, but I see the potential that he's able to make movies that everybody can love. I know he can, but he keeps doing the same thing over and over again. So it's like, for example, with DC, like as I said, I liked his DC stuff. And then we started to see what James Gunn did with his DC films, and all the other stuff like Aquaman and Shazam, the stuff that he didn't work on, and it gave us different sensibilities that I ended up enjoying. So in a way, maybe my tastes have evolved a little bit. I do, but yeah, bottom line, I do think Snyder needs to evolve as a filmmaker because will always be seen as that niche director that a certain amount of fan base enjoy from him and nobody else. And maybe he doesn't care about everyone.
I don't necessarily know if it's nobody else. Worldwide, it's doing very good on Netflix streaming numbers. Like,
yeah,
there's
but
a
that's a
worldwide
common thing with
audience.
Netflix. That's a common thing with Netflix, though. So it's like,
Yeah. It might be the right platform for this project. Who knows? Some things that might not make a movie as great for us domestically make it easily transferable to other regions of the world and other languages.
But anyway, I've talked enough. I've ranted on long enough. I want to go to Herb. Tell us, what is your overall thoughts on this PG-13 version of Rebel Moon Part 1: A Child of Fire?
All right, I call Rebel Moon RM. We're good like that. RM is an eye-opening adventure, 200 light years in the making. A galaxy trotting look at space stuff happening somewhere between 60 to 120 frames per second. A character driven toward the force guaranteed to cure all ailments and diseases. Snyder has provided an albatross of a film, a victory lap when the race hasn't even begun. RM proves Hollywood is still on top. RM will forever be known as the movie that saved cinema. Nolan knows it. You all know it. Reality knows it. Blood Axe forever.
That just sounded like you just said. That's all that said was it was a movie. That's all he said. It was a movie.
It was a movie.
Yes, that's all he said.
Wow. Well, nice. All right, Brucifer.
What the hell was that, perp?
If that's his opening statement, sure.
That's my opening statement. If you can't respect that, then frankly, what am I doing here?
This is Perp saying that he will respect other creators and not crap on their visions. I remember him saying something like that, and that was what he was doing.
This is my honest opinion, and we will get to it in the spoiler talk.
Sure. All right, Brucifer, you're next. What did you think about Rebel Moon Part 1 of Child of Fire?
It was a coherent sci-fi movie. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. Um, when I was watching it with the watch party, I even said during the stream that there was something missing. Something just felt like it wasn't complete. Um, I really enjoyed Cora as a character. I expect. Oh, I can't say that now. Damn it.
Damn.
I expected more from a character, but I didn't get what I was expecting. You will, if you saw the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Try not to leap the ships. I really enjoyed the scene where Harry Potter was trying to train the. Oh, sorry, wrong movie. No, but seriously, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. If I sat through 90s.
What about the robot with the horns?
That's a spoiler for some reason, I think. If I sat through 90s sci-fi channel movies and enjoyed them, I can enjoy this. Next.
All right, next. Max, your thoughts on Rebel Moon?
I've always been consistent. I'm able to criticize Zach. I'm not just a fanboy. This was not great. It was not bad either. I think it fell short of a lot of people's expectations. I think there's a lot of it doesn't lack ideas. There's a lot of ideas going on there. I wish the dialogue was a little bit better. I personally, the one thing Zach does, back when he did Watchmen, one of the interviews he did was, I don't shy away from showing violence because I think that's the more responsible thing to do. Violence can't be like Respawn and things like that. But he also tends to really show some aggressive like villainry, and that's going to upset a lot of people. But it's also, I almost got a Tarantino vibe from some of the villain stuff with at the
My
beginning.
God, Max.
But not as good. Not as good though. Let me finish, perp. So
No, I love you, man. I'm sorry.
No, but he's not afraid to show villains being really villainous, and that's going to upset a lot of people. But that did make it instantly made you dislike these villains. Whereas if they were just if that scenes if you remove those scenes that people had an issue with, they would be pretty generic, honestly. Too. There's a lot of room to improve this movie. On the second watch, I'm enjoying it more. It's not a great movie. I do think it's more rewatchable than Army of the Dead, and I liked Army of the Dead too. But I think there's a lot more here to rewatch. And yeah, this does seem like a trailer for the other version. And I don't think it was a mistake to release this first either, because you'll get those viewership numbers twice, hopefully. There's also potential there that some people watched it and will not give the director's cut even a chance now. There's a chance of that.
That's the thing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's the
No,
thing.
there are characters that I was let down by. Was Charlie Hunnam in Blood Axe character, which the Blood Axes, both him and his sister. But I think they're saving that storyline for the director's cut. I think you're going to see a lot of them in it. But yeah, there's a lot of room to improve. I gave it a 7 out of 10, potentially like a 6 out of 10. It's not averaged; it's just slightly above average. And I do also agree with you, DL, that he has better in him. I don't, a better movie in him. He's capable of more. Was also why it's frustrating. And no, figure drawing, that does not make me rethink my love of him in the past. He's done really great films. Some people in entertainment just keep delivering the hits. Some bands always have the hits. Some bands have some time periods where it's not as good for a while, and then they have a revival. and I hope Zach has the revival. But this isn't enough to move the needle and get people back on the Zach train and get him back to Hollywood. Not he's in still Hollywood, but making movies for like Warner Brothers or anyone else. I don't think this is gonna do it.
Okay. Anything more to add, Blue Jay? Your thoughts on Rebel Moon?
We could
In
skip Blue
terms
Jay.
of, oh
No,
my
just kidding.
gosh.
Kidding.
In terms of Zack Snyder movies that have been cut down to 2-hour PG-13 films, just Justice League is better. Just
Oh, I actually like Justice League, the Jeff Johns,
look.
Joss Whedon.
Can we jump
At the
into this
very-
thing?
I-
Oh, sorry.
Amazing. Every word that you just said was wrong.
Whoa.
No, I'm right.
It just wasn't great. It wasn't great like the Snyder cut.
At the very
Snyder Cut
at
was
the
amazing.
at the very least, it doesn't feel. Justice League is also chopped up. Not look, it's not. I'm aware that Justice League is a chopped up film, but at the very least, I I feel like there's a beginning, middle, and the end to that film. There's just some stuff that you can tell, like when you watch the trailer for that movie. You can tell there's some scenes that have been cut down, but at the very least, it feels like I'm watching something. This one, I mean, it's Rebel Moon is not. It feels so chopped up. It feels even more chopped up than Justice League was. Because on the one hand, okay, there's some cool stuff in there. I like the beginning with Korra, in this little village with these people, and like it's nice. Like okay, it's a dirt. I was like, okay, it's a good start. I'm like, I don't know how, but I was like, I don't know what everybody talking about. This is not that. It's not that bad. Shit. Once they get off once they get off that planet, I'm just like, is this what that's it? Is this what they're supposed to be? Like characters who just like kind of do just we're just planet hopping and we're just beating out the other characters and that's it. And you got literally just a cut from a scene to another where this random character comes out of nowhere and just suddenly joins the group and just appears out of thin air. Like, yeah, she looks cool, but where the hell does she come from? Heaven? I just, I mean, like, I can't say it's god awful. There's some cool stuff. I mean, I like the visuals. It's actually, it's visually pretty stunning. Um, the world seems interesting if they actually do some world building here and there. Um, what was the dude's name? Ed Screen. I keep calling him Francis because that's what I've always known him as. What he's always known by from Deadpool. He's cool. Sophia Botella's hot. Yeah, she's. There's one thing that Zack Snyder's good at casting beautiful, badass women, kicking ass. Gal and Sophia. He's 2 for 2.
Sarah
So,
Polly.
oh yeah, it's her. Yeah, her. So yeah, there's a lot more to talk about once we uh, go on a bit more. And oh, one more thing. Like I said before, if you're gonna make an action movie, if you're using slow mo, please use it the correct amount. God damn.
What is the correct amount?
Yeah, that's a
Just don't overdo
that's
it.
a BS
God,
statement.
Once
BS statement.
at the
What is the
beginning.
correct amount of
So-
slow mo?
Why
What's
don't
the
we-
correct amount?
Yeah, why don't we
There
start
was
off
no-
this? Yeah, why don't we start off this discussion talking about the slow motion? I usually like his slow motion. I think that's his signature, like J.J. Abrams with his lens flares. So I don't really have an issue with and Michael Bay's explosions. But
Based.
Who's Michael Bay?
The greatest director ever. Do your research.
Okay.
But
based.
there's even I noticed there's slow motion where it doesn't even need to be there. At least in my opinion, here's how I think he should utilize slow motion. he needs to utilize slow motion if he wants to emphasize the impact of an attack or emphasize the movement of a character flipping or jumping or whatever. He's just using slow motion when somebody's just midway running or throwing seeds on the ground. Or
There could
the
be
part-
Well, I
an
rewatched the scene
emphasis on the
once. Makes
why
sense.
he's doing it for the running. There could be emphasis on that. What
The
I
seed one was
found
good
with
because it was like, oh shit, the Empire.
what I found with the
the
slow
I mean,
mothership.
what I found with the slow motion is that sometimes I don't think the desired effect paid off. For example, in the bar fight, I think when you cut between two slow motion shots, um, sometimes like the whole idea is slow motion is supposed to put you in a zone where you're like, you know what's going on. That's why I'm going to be a badass. This is how I see what's going on right now. This is how I'm going to be able to get the up. Sorry, what happened, Brucifer? Are you going to vomit? What happened, Brucifer?
Yeah, do it. Yeah, the slow motion. You slow motion drinking water.
Oh my God, that's good. Took me a while. Yeah, actually, let's do that while I'm explaining this. Like in the bar fight, I think if you look at someone like John Woo, he'll mix cuts between slow motion and 24 frames a second, right? And I think that's what DL means in terms of like giving impact to the slow motion aspect. But when you're doing nothing but slow motion, like in the bar fight, I think the effect is a little more comical because what ends up happening is that everyone looks really slow. You're not really getting the same type of visceral feeling. It's just like, okay, now she has to do this in slow motion. Now the guy's going to get hit. And then what ends up happening is that you cut to a guy getting like hit and he's just in the air already in slow motion. And it's kind of funny because, you know, there was several parts in the action scenes where it's like, it actually looks really funny because they're cutting in slow motion. Like exactly what Brucifer's doing right now. Bar fight.
Bro, hold on. Like the part where they were, I can
Mario
the
hat.
part the most. Oh, the Mario hat. Okay, so the part when who was that dude that was riding that giant griffin? Like I keep calling him Tarzan because he gives off Tarzan vibes. He
Hold
looks
on,
like Tarzan.
I got the
Buckbeak? He was riding Buckbeak?
Tarak.
Tar-
Tarek.
if
Tarak.
you put a
This
if you
is
put a
Tarak.
Z and an N, that's
He's got
Tarzan.
my back.
Oh,
Okay.
my God.
Okay,
Face
so with
Tarzan.
him, he when he's like running, like he jumps, like you get a slow mo, and then he just slow mo like double slow mo like this 0.5
slow-mo.
like I'm like that's what that's not how you. I don't mind slow mo. That's just too much.
That's not
You
how
just
you slow-mo.
Or it's
and
like
he's-
when they're doing slow motion, like they would slow it down and then speed the footage and then slow
They crank
down
it.
and then speed the footage
This
and
is-
slow down. Like no.
no
Crank
this
that.
is the stuff that people parody. This is the kind of stuff that people parody in these things. This is a like dark,
I-
serious, like everybody's just
I
shooting,
think that
burning
sometimes it's
alive, and
funny. That's
all
why it
this
looks funny.
dark stuff, and they're just doing these slow mos. It's like, oh yeah, hold up, I got a jacket.
From now on,
Here's a
I will be
jacket.
known as Brorio. What's good?
Oh no.
Watch,
No,
look,
Bruce.
Bruyo.
Brorio.
see, look,
Brorio.
I got a jacket. I'm gonna put it on a jacket like this.
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Rebel Moon broke
This-
people, Max.
Hold on.
Broke these kids. Look, at 'em.
4 scenes with slow motion. Come
Look
on.
what you're doing to these kids, Snyder.
4 scenes of slow motion.
Look what you're doing to these kids. They're slow-moing
being
everything
so
now.
hyperbolic here.
That's
I
not how
swear,
you do slow
These
mo.
kids can't stop
They
slow-moing.
dropped
Snyder, do
the
something.
seeds when the mothership got
Go back
there.
to handheld like Man of Steel,
Out
Snyder.
of the space vagina.
Mags. Time
What?
to wake up, Mags.
Oh God.
Watch, I'm like, just,
Homer humor.
He's turning lynching.
but yeah, man, like it I feel like it was a bit excessive. Like good uses like I go back to stuff like Watchmen. Like I think that the use of slow motion in that was really good. Like it felt like he was trying to emulate comic panels and stuff like that. So it actually had more of a purpose there. Like even something as simple as like in BVS in the opening scene where you see Bruce's parents get killed for the 67th time. Like even seeing like the pearls fall and stuff like that. Like that was done beautifully. 300 when they're doing the action scenes, they just not just putting slow motion for no reason. Once again, emphasizing the impact of attacks and emphasizing the movement of their choreography. Like there was a purpose there. It doesn't feel like there was a purpose with him doing slow motion. It feels like he has a slow motion button and he's just pressing it every 15 seconds.
God.
Like that's what it feels like. I don't know.
You know what?
man.
I think
Pretty cool if that's
next.
true.
I have a feeling. I don't know. I don't know what. I'm just being stupid. I have a feeling that Netflix is kind of saving us. What if the director's cut was? I think we're watching just the entire film, and the director's cut is the same film, but it's just 4 hours and just the slow mo 0.2%.
I'm gonna leave now. What the hell, Blue Jay? The
I hope
director
it's.
cut is
I
more
really hope it's not
slow-mo?
that. I really hope it's not that.
No,
Once again,
I'm
he
just
said
being fu-
completely different movie. He said
not a
completely
vagina.
different movie.
it does look
Thank-
like a
I
vagina.
think
The ship enters
it's the movie.
or
I think
exits.
it's.
That's
I
what I'm
think we're
saying.
watching
Zach
the
was like
original.
memeing on us. I think there's a lot of
I
parts that are
think we're
really
watching the
funny.
original movie, and then the extended 3 hour cut is the whole movie in slow mo.
Oh my gosh! All right, moving on.
Any thoughts on the vagina portal?
He did that on purpose.
All right,
See,
we'll
y'all
move
had
away-
to
move
make
away
it.
from
Y'all had
that.
to made it perverted, man.
Y'all had to
Oh
mate
yeah,
it. I didn't
mean,
mate
who
with
did-
anything.
Oh no, Joe's
Oh,
here.
here we go.
Oh, we got another guest
Joe,
coming in.
you didn't
Joe hasn't
watch
even
it.
seen it. I don't even know why he's here.
I
Why
didn't
are
know why
you
you're here,
here, Joe?
Joe. You haven't even seen the movie, Joe.
Wait, are we talking about Rebel Moon?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I saw it.
Oh, you
I
saw
got-
it?
Yeah, I watched my Blu-ray of it earlier today.
Oh, see
Told
here.
you.
Oh, him and Degrassi. Look at this bullshit.
Are you going around stream to stream
You
making
can't.
this
You
joke? I hope
can't
so.
just enter streams. This is the L structured stream.
Very
for
structured.
a very intelligent Rebel Moon discussion,
Yeah.
and you got to come in here with jokes.
No, I just watched it. John Boy was great in it.
Oh God!
Oh boy. Okay.
Don't
Well,
be afraid to boot him, DL. You're in control.
yeah, I will have order on this stream. This is not MME. This is DL's
Oh,
live.
wait a second.
What?
Now you're throwing shade at me. Okay.
Hey, Mario.
Well, I had to keep Max in order last night. He kept interrupting everybody. Oh, Max! Woo. I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
He yells his name.
Okay, so let us move on. Let's talk about the overall, the universe, world building, aliens, spaceship, all that stuff. Did you guys like the overall concept of his world? Did you think that
It was
fun?
brilliant. It was refreshing. I loved it.
I think the world is
I loved it.
interesting. I think some of the aliens look kind of interesting. I think what was it? What the when they were at that bar, is that weird alien that's just attached itself to that one human.
Oh,
The
that
sucky
was
yeah.
awesome. That was an awesome
Yeah.
design.
Okay,
That
like
was
that's
The possum sucky
that's
vibe.
creative. See, I liked
It was blue.
I like space. I like whenever space opera does like something creative that we haven't really seen before. Okay, it's just a lot of inventive stuff going on. It's just too bad that some of the planets just look. They just kind of look the same. Well, some planets look the same. They just don't have that much color going on. Just nothing but green, dark green, and brown. It's just okay, but
It's gray, orange, and brown. That's what we got.
yeah, but I think except for that one city, the names of those planets escape me. I just think that which one is their version of Coruscant. I was like, okay, it looks different. I guess it kind of stands out, and that's pretty much it. I mean,
Yes.
I don't
Oh,
know.
hell, Snyder.
I
That's
think
what the-
I think the
was your-
blending of medieval in the beginning with space is genius. I think it kind of has sort of, I've seen it before in other mediums, comic books, board games, stuff like that. That's sort of like I don't know if it's like Warhammer-ish, but like that medieval space stuff. But I've never really seen it captured on film like this. So I really dug that. I hope it goes even harder in terms of the medieval aspect for the next movie, and we see like more worlds constructed, and even the general's world was like done like in a Rome, so it's like taking from other ancient cultures, and putting it in a sci-fi setting. I think is very interesting rather than just doing the Star Wars
Yeah,
World War
like-
II thing,
Mhm.
If they,
even though it still does that.
If they release the extended edition, I would like to see more of this world, like at least build up the world, like world building. I want to see what they have in store. I mean, it looks cool, but I don't know about this world, about anything. Maybe an extended edition, or maybe in part two. I'm just hoping they don't do this the director's cut thing, which still bothers the crap out of me. We'll get to that later, but man.
Yeah, I'm with you guys that I think I do think the world is interesting. I like the different designs of the aliens. There's that yeah, as we said, the alien that was probing that dude at the bar. I thought that was a really
Mhm.
sick design. I like that.
Yeah.
There's that white alien dude that was like the king that had like these weird tentacle things come off of his face. That was a really cool design. Jenna Malone, the spider. I thought that was a cool design too. Um,
That
yeah,
scene was so bizarre to me. I have no idea why everyone was just standing in the background watching this lady fight for that long. They
I
all had guns. Just come on, we need you. Get over here.
Oh my god, dude,
That
that
scene
was
that
like,
bothered me. They were posing in the background.
Holding a
You
child.
mean
Why would they shoot?
the board queen from Star
it
Trek?
doesn't like
Wait a second.
They
They
should
were
go
not
for the
helping
head.
out
Dude,
at
or
all.
Quaid.
They were just
Like,
standing there posing like it was a freaking
she
They were
had
all, they
perfume
were all like
commercial
this.
with
But
fog.
they,
It was like a
can't
music
they
video in the background.
can't they help?
They were just posing.
Can't they help
It's like Michael
Nemesis
Jackson music video.
rescue the kid? Why are they just standing there?
Yeah, they're not doing anything. And then why'd she wait so long to unleash the lightsaber? She was like trying to hack it up normal. It's like, dude, don't wait. Don't do this
They
cool thing.
covered
Why
that.
you...
She didn't want to kill that creature. She was trying to resolve it. They
No.
respected
But when
her
she did
resolve it.
fight,
She
she fought.
has.
She was like for a long
It's
time before
totally
just.
explained. Perp, you're completely wrong on this
Yeah.
scene.
Okay.
She has a history there of resolving conflict. They were trying to let her. She did not want to
Dude,
kill
she was
that
fighting for
spider.
40 minutes and they stood there.
She
What do you
did not
mean?
want to kill the Borg spider.
Oh, thank you. I didn't get that
It-
in it.
She didn't want to kill her. And
I
at
got
the
it.
end,
They
she
were
said, "This is
fighting.
nothing to celebrate." She was
Okay.
sad that it had
So
to
if
go
you
that
don't want to
far.
kill her, wouldn't it be more logical that you have several people to help out if you don't want to kill her versus
No,
one-on-one with
she is
lightsabers?
so badass. She resolves it. She has that, uh, reputation. It seemed
Okay.
like that she
Sure.
has that reputation that she resolves shit. She handles shit. Let her do her thing, and she still had to kill her, and
But
she
that's
was
what I'm
upset.
saying. Where in terms of there's little decisions like that make this seem like a comedy, like it's funny that they're just standing there not doing
That's
anything.
one thing I
That-
saw not to like in a lot of movies. You don't need one hero versus the enemy. Freak that. In real life, we teaming up, we killing the shit out that bitch.
Yeah, because
Fuck that.
it's not even about the lot. It's about the visual when you're looking at that and she's fighting and you just see them standing there and you're just like, okay, like you're not cutting to them, they're not reacting. This is a moment to even build character where they're like, what do they think of her? What do they like? Cut to that, like, oh, should maybe have even a moment of a character wants to step in. No, and then you have conflict there, like all these missed opportunities that hopefully are in the director's cut. Because as it stands, it does to me, it looks silly. There's several scenes here that were generally done like comedy, like it was a comedy. The Tarzan guy was another one. When they let the he gets free, they tame the bird, and then they just leave, and then the bird kills the dude, and it's like that's like a comedy sketch, and it's like the way they react to it is like, I saw that coming, like it's very awkward, very awkward.
What is
And it's not about logic; it's just about how the scene plays out. There's a lot of stuff in there that it's like with the editing, it just feels off. I don't know. Director's cut, I hope fixes all this.
It's just the sad thing is there's no need to be a director's cut. It's on Netflix. It's not oh my god, I'm sorry. This is really pissing me off.
I feel you. To get back on track, just real quick about I like the design of the ships. I like the design of the lasers. I like in this that the laser guns feel like they have an impact on it, where like the laser guns in Star Wars Forever, they feel like kind of toys, like pew 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 pew. But like whenever they're shooting guns in this, it's like boom boom boom. It's like, oh, I actually feel the impact there. The only designs I didn't really care for in this is the designs of like the the Imperium. Like they were still wearing button up shirts and a tie and
Yeah.
like looking like a
And the
Nazi.
soldiers had like gunk on them, white gunk on them. What was that? Like some of like the pilot, what was that gunk on them? That they had like they were like crusty for some reason. The armor. Did you notice that
They,
with the
they didn't
soldiers?
moisturize.
They were all ashy. Like it was really weird.
Yeah,
Um,
and I
yeah, but
wish.
one to add to your laser thing, one of the things that I thought was genius that Snyder kind of did that, like it's a cool sci-fi thing, is that the lasers, they wouldn't just like spark and explode, like they would like disintegrate into this lava liquid thing, and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's badass. That is really cool. That's a really cool take on the laser like impact. Laser
absolutely.
ricochet. That's badass. I hope more movies take from that. So I'll give that was awesome. That's really cool Snyder shit that we could all appreciate.
Yeah. And then the laser swords, I like how, it's not just a copycat of the lightsaber. It like it works in a very different way. Like with Nemesis' swords, like
I
she's
don't.
able to
I don't think they were laser. I think they were just heated metal swords.
heated metal swords. Even better, yes.
It's it's
Heated.
That's
it,
cool
it's
though.
kind it's kind of like
That's
in
cool.
Solo where what was his name with those little brass knuckle things that heats up and one like when he was fighting Solo. You know what I'm talking about? The
I'm trying to remember. Um Jeez,
I forgot
I think I know what you're talking about.
I
I
forgot
forgot his
I
name.
forgot what the dude's name was. Like the bad guy of that movie. He was I'm looking it up right now real quick. He was Dryden Voss, Paul Bendy's character.
Mm.
Yeah, because he had like the little knuckle blade things in
Oh
the.
yeah, the blades with the little edge were like lit up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Mhm.
know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it had that cool shot where he like takes out a vase or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Um okay.
Oh,
So
there was one cool part. I wish I
oh
kind of
yeah, go
forgot.
ahead. What do you want
Okay,
to
there
talk
was another really cool thing I thought Snyder was doing, but I was wrong about it. Okay, so there's,
What?
but there was a point. There was a point where I was like, oh, when they were in the guy's ship, that dude's ship that was taking them everywhere, they were always standing up, and I was like, oh, this is a cool Snyder moment, if a cool Snyder thing, where it's like in the ship decks they don't have any seats, they always have to stand. There was a lot of rails, if you notice. There's a lot of rails all around the movie, and I thought that was an interesting take for space flight, especially in the cockpit. Is like there's no sitting, it's all standing. But then later on, I see a chair in the background. I was like, oh, you fucked it up. All right, sorry for cursing. Go ahead.
interesting. Um as far as like I wanted to talk real quick about we talked a little bit about the cinematography with the slow motion, all this stuff. The hand to hand combat stuff. There's something that I really noticed that I didn't that I didn't really like this time around, is that he used a lot more quick cuts, quick edits, and close ups in his action scenes. Did y'all notice that? Because I
Yeah,
definitely noticed that when especially when Cora was fighting those
in the barn.
yeah, in the barn. I was like, man, there's a lot of quick edits and close ups. Snyder, you do better than this. Why is there a bunch of quick edits and
He
stuff?
didn't he did the
Yeah.
warehouse scene in BVS. That was one of the best fight
Well,
scenes
that's
of all
probably the
time.
cutting out the violent stuff.
Yes, he had to cut out the violent stuff.
See, this
You
movie
could.
should have been
I
rated
think
R.
I applaud what he did several times in that fight in particular, because he did this shot where it was like the guy's head and she was going off blurry in the background. I was like, okay, that's a cool way of getting around like the edit, the PG-13 thing. I wish he like, I could imagine where he stayed in that whole shot where it's just like this soldier's perspective and she's blurry and you could sort of make out what she's doing and it's like kicking ass. That would have been cool. If it would have stayed in that shot a little longer, but that was cool. That's a cool way around it. So I think Snyder did have planned like a PG-13 version, maybe with that shot in specific, where he knew where it was going to be. Okay, this is what I got to do for the PG-13 version. This is where I put the camera. You know.
Okay,
So,
so director's cut, we're probably gonna get a different
oh
shot.
yeah, it seems like it's going to be way more violent. Yeah, there's one where it's like the gun goes off in that dude's face and it cuts, and it's like it's going to keep going. In the director's cut, that shot's going to keep going. You see that guy's face obliterated.
Right. Or is there was that one shot where the head Imperium guy like is taking like his, what is it, a staff of I don't know what it was, but batter someone's head in, like, and yeah, clearly there that his brain was supposed to be exploded on the ground, but like nope, can't see that, can't show that because it's P-13. Oh no. Um. All right. Well, let's try and talk about the characters. We are
Uh, Cora's best girl.
Cora is the most. Is probably the best character in the movie. Which I guess they did their job there because she's the lead.
Did she talk in the movie?
So many.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh man. Bruh.
She
There is
didn't shut up in the
exposition.
beginning.
Yes, she's like Lily. That's one of my big issues. Like, there's so much exposition in this movie.
Yes.
They're telling, not showing. There's like two parts of the movie where she is regurgitating her tragic backstory of
Dying to chat.
I don't deserve love. Oh, I used to be a soldier of war. Oh, I am just everywhere I go. Death and destruction.
And the
follow
guy was like, "Dude, I was just asking about that dude in the
You know,
You're going off on
it,
this. Shit.
it,
What's
it,
wrong?"
felt, it felt
What's going on
like
here?
that. It felt like they wrote it thinking that the audience was too stupid to follow along.
Or like, oh wait, you were supposed to be, you were once an Imperium. Oh, I didn't know that. Like an hour ago.
Dude, I think it was.
Well,
really,
I think it's
I
a
don't think it was
response
great
to this.
storytelling.
Like, the Star Wars fans were like, "You don't give enough backstory for Rey." Maybe that's why they overdid for Cora.
Yeah, but you could do that. They had the scene there. They have her flashback. Do that as
Yeah.
a dream sequence. Don't have her explaining like
It's like,
when we see her. It's like
explain
I was a
twice.
soldier and I cannot marry. That's why I don't
You know,
belong in this
Condit.
community.
Dude,
It's like,
like,
whoa, dude, come on! You could have been
Snyder
showing us that. That is, I don't. think
Snyder
that's
does
good.
well when it comes to visual storytelling. Like you can tell like visually. He's not really. He doesn't use a lot of. Well, he uses exposition, but not like to this like degree. I feel like, oh, I used to be part of this Imperium, and he does it like so many times. I'm like, yeah, I think we kind of understand your character there. Let's talk about the other characters. I don't know shit about them.
I don't know.
Someone
Gunner.
Gunner, he looks
He was.
familiar.
I think he had the most to do play with in terms of like he wasn't, because the cliche thing. I'll give Snyder props. The cliche thing. He's the dickhead, sold out the guy, but he made a mistake. He made a mistake and he paid the price for it and he felt the guilt for it. And he's on this trip because of that guilt. And I thought that was really impressive, good character work. I thought he was good. And I thought he had my favorite moment with Blood Axe. That one scene where Blood Axe just looks at him and just through his eyes, through that guilt, Blood Axe decides to help him. I thought that was really cool.
That was good.
I dug him. I think, everyone was like, Kara. I was like, man, Kara, I've seen that lady act and I don't feel like she brought it in this one. So and that dude, I was kind of about that dude, and then the Charlie dude, Charlie Huffman guy.
Oh
Huntsman or
yeah.
whatever. This guy, yeah,
Kai.
Kai. Yeah, I liked him.
Yeah. Pretty much he was the Han Solo type character, I guess, if people want to say that. Very strong Scottish accent or whatever that was, an Irish accent, Scottish accent. I don't know. I've never heard of use that accent before, but he was pretty good.
His intro was really nice too.
Yeah,
good
his intro was pretty cool. Yeah.
He's just like picking from the dead, and it's like, okay, this is cool. I could see why Snyder. It's Snyder having fun. I could see him having fun in the Star Wars universe, and a character like that pops up, just like picking from the dead. I was like, oh man, that's good.
Before we move on to the other characters, did you guys? It seems like they're hinting at a romance between Gunner and Cora. Do you guys see that? Do you guys care about that?
I thought there was a few hints.
I mean, it was introduced in the beginning of this movie, so it is gonna happen. That's like Pavlov's gun. Like it's very important. Lovemaking.
I feel
Zach
like
said there's gonna be sex in the director's cut. He's like, yeah.
Well,
why was
characters?
It's important in the beginning of this movie. I
Not
think it's gonna pay off. If Snyder's a good writer, yeah, it's gonna pay off.
I don't think they're interested in having a relationship. I actually don't. I don't. Well, I like Cora, but I don't. Gunner doesn't seem all that interesting to me. I don't know why.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not invested enough in these characters to care if they get it on or not.
Damn.
Okay.
See, come on, character development, man. Where is it? Anyway,
it's important sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. So we can give a shit about what's going on. G-Man Hantu.
Base. Yeah. See, he's gonna do it, of course.
Oh yeah. Oh my
Oh
god.
man, this guy, man.
Was in
I
an
feel
So
bad.
like
I
yeah,
feel bad for
they
that
so you're
performance, bro.
so you're telling me that they go to this planet and they found some dude in the middle probably some homeless dude and he just washing down and
Gladiator
be like
Arena,
Bro, they
and
walked on the Gladiator 2 set, and they
and he's
just like,
like,
"Can we
oh, I
start
was like,
filming here?" And they were like, "Yeah."
I forgot what he said. He's like, you know, I don't know, I'm super paraphrasing here, like, man, I can't be a fighter. And then Core had to go like, you're not a fighter. And then you're not a fighter. You know, you are a fighter. Be strong or whatever. And he just stands
No,
up
he
like,
said, "Think of your men" or something. It was really
let me
like
die in
he does that
peace.
every time. She says like 2 sentences to these people, and they're like, "Yeah, you're right."
well, basically
All right, dude.
well,
You didn't
basically
really think about this hard long enough, did you, dude?
basically she's telling him this, look, be a man, grow some balls, join our crew. And just like, I'll
That's
join
literally
you.
how it was. That's literally how
I
it
don't,
was.
I don't remember seeing him after that.
I mean, he doesn't really do anything until like
I
the
don't even remember
last
seeing him after
fight.
that. Really?
Here, and there was
Was
one
he shooting
shot
at
of him.
anything?
He kicked
In that
somebody and
platform?
shot someone. That was
Okay,
it.
maybe he was in that bunch.
I don't
shooting.
know. I
It's
don't
like
know.
the Expendables too. It's just a bunch of people shooting. It's like, what the hell?
God damn, it is unexpectable too, bro. Like, man. Okay, so yeah, and Jimon Hansu, man, he's so great. Why are you giving him like these? I mean, I'm hopefully we actually
Shazam? Oh, sorry. Wrong.
I'm
Well,
tired of
Shazam-
that guy being like third tier
Shazam was
guy
great.
in a team. That
Yeah,
guy's
third
always like
tier.
the third tier guy in a team. And it's like, all right, man, this guy is like an Academy Award nominee. Let's get him some like
Give him
leading
something
men
to
role.
do.
He's like freaking earned it by now.
Hopefully, there's a fight scene in the Gladiator Arena in the extended cut.
That dude's been in so
I
many
know, right?
movies.
It
I just
seems
feel
like they
like he's been
wandered
just
into a
so
different set.
underused.
That felt so awkward how they would cut to that and then they cut to him. It felt like a set. It felt like Immortals. Like that's the thing. Sometimes Snyder, like, it feels very
$80
weird.
million. $80 million.
I understand, but it feels a little bit weird when you're, and this is why I love the medieval aspect in that town. I was like, space, medieval, like whatever. That was cool. And then to cut from that, physical set and you go into that Rome thing and it's like, it doesn't gel. It doesn't, you need, I think in the director's cut, maybe if you have time to breathe between scenes, it
No
could work
comment.
a little bit better, but it's just like, it just doesn't, it didn't work. Like, it didn't work for me. Some of the intros to the other worlds and all that, it went too fast.
It did go too fast. It like we're not able to fully absorb the look and the feel of the world because we're just like boom, 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 boom. I'm just like, and then we spend even less time recruiting all these people. It's like once again, it's like Rogue One. It's like, who are you people? Why should I care about you? Like, what is going on?
Don't you want to take that bird with us? That bird could probably eat some space Nazis.
Tarak.
This part was hilarious. I love this part. When they just left and then that bird just ate the dude anyway, and they're just in the ship and they're like, yep. It's like, oh shit. This is hilarious. That was hilarious.
I
love
that.
No, it was really
poster.
funny.
I was like, that poster. I was like, Tar, you better close that mouth.
What is this?
Oh yeah, like he's like, ah!
So, dude, they better get that freaking bird. Was that in the trailer for the second one too?
There's a reason it's that. Yeah,
they better get
Do
that.
You want a
bird
bird pooping on your ship?
Yeah, why?
A lot.
Why did they not bring the bird?
Yeah, bring the bird. He just ate the owner. Now they're just gonna leave it there. They know. They know he ate the owner.
I definitely see that
saw
this
it. They were
movie's a
laughing
lot of
their asses
setup
off
for
at
all
it.
the action in part 2.
Brucifer, the bird pooping on the ship will be worth it if you just bring the bird to the final battle and just
you know why? Because
question
Snyder's
I have
so
about this
anti-Marvel.
movie,
Marvel would have brought that bird, and that bird
All
was
you have
shit
to
for
go
comedy.
pew pew is
Okay.
dead.
Can I have ask the biggest question? Now this is a spoiler. We're in spoilers.
This is spoiler discussion. Yeah.
Yeah. So why is Blood Axe really dead?
Jam.
Okay, hold on. Let's get to.
Can we go? We're going in order right now. We're in Moon
one.
Guy, Moon Trainer.
Max this order here, please. Thank you.
Bird Rider.
Thank you, Christopher. But yeah, so to get back to Tarak, he doesn't even have a fight scene. Like he's just sitting there all muscular with with no shirt. He rides a bird, and that's it.
He rides a bird.
What does he do?
He put on a show for the crew.
We all have that one.
I bet they were talking about it a lot.
In a bar, they're calling the police. Come on, you have that one friend. You know you do.
Yeah. I bet they were talking about it a lot. I bet he mentions it. That's why he's like, yo, you didn't do anything in that platform fight. He's like, dude, I rode that bird that one
I rode
time.
that bird, and you didn't even
Okay.
bring the bird with you.
All right.
Nope.
When
come
you
on,
guys
bro.
do that, then you could talk.
God damn, man. Hopefully
was
he
the
does something
fastest
in
training-
the. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
No, that was
Just see the
fastest
movie
training
Crazy Joe.
sequence-
Everyone's all about it.
fastest training sequence ever with him training that.
Like
bird.
seriously, it's like
Watch Joe love the movie. That'd be funny.
He's
Oh my
he's
God.
thinking, it's like, man, I really could have used that bird right now. That's what he's thinking. What an idiot! Is like, man, we saw it. We didn't get that bird. We're stupid.
hopefully
I
it
would
pop-
have
I could have been
loved
writing that
this,
bird right now.
this movie would have been so much better if either the second movie, if he actually did bring the bird, and then he just and like, oh, or like there'll be, I'm predicting
And the
it'll be
bird
a
eats
scene
him.
where no, I'm predicting a scene with like Cora's like pinned down and the film's gonna kill her, and all of a sudden you got this bird coming in, you got Tara going, to the Tarzan shit.
And then the bird eats him.
The bird eats him.
And then just the bird eats him, and that's it.
Oh,
You're like, okay,
brother.
another character down.
Well, hopefully he actually does something in part 2. All right, Nemesis. She was pretty cool, I guess. for
Visually, the
like-
coolest one. That hat was badass. I love
That
that.
Okay,
hat is
she's
so
I hated
She looks
it.
badass.
she's cool,
Yeah,
but where the hell does she come from? Like she just
Mhm.
appeared
he was
out of
so
thin
obviously
air.
a Jedi. She was in like his Star Wars. That was the Jedi, bro. That was the
Like, oh
Jedi.
my, like
She went in there
I
like a
love-
detective and everything. I want the missing children.
I love her
Like,
design. I love the hat. I love the two swords.
Yes.
I love all that stuff. But
She looks like
where
she
in
just-
the she just like in the
She just
next
out of an
scene,
episode of Star Wars Visions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool.
Oh my.
No, she
She was
no,
cool.
she literally just like come out of thin air. She's like, oh yeah, in this
No,
elevator.
she
she's
rode
like,
the elevator with them.
yeah, she comes out of freaking nowhere. And she's like,
He
in the
rode
next.
the elevator with them.
Yeah, they met at the elevator.
Yeah.
She's
Oh
like,
my
"Come with me. I'm
God.
gonna show you something really cool. Check this out. Look what I'm gonna do this."
And she's
lady."
like, wait, who is this character? Like, yeah, she's cool and all, but then all of a sudden, like, she got some beef with this
Spider.
spider lady, and then
I
everybody's
guess that's
just
true.
just
They were
sta-
shocked.
standing
They were like,
idly
"What's going
by and
on?"
all
That's
that
why they
stuff.
didn't do anything. Like, what is she doing?
Yeah.
Is that her girlfriend? They were shocked. They didn't know what was going on. That's why they just stood there. It was like, is this a
No,
fight?
she's
Is
no,
this
she's
like
her
a-
ex.
Yeah,
She's her
just
ex.
like
Like,
a-
you cheated on me.
yeah. That's why they didn't. That's why. Okay, it makes sense now.
Did
And then they
somebody
had
say
the kid. It
Visions?
could have been a custody battle. They didn't know. They don't know.
Hey,
Hey.
Custody
Yes.
battle.
bruh.
Yeah, the
Custody
Spider Woman
battle.
was holding that kid like it was a custody battle. So it's like that's why those people were standing there. So I'm like, that's okay. It makes sense to me now.
So
Where
It
was
makes
someone's
sense.
going
That's why
to
no one jumped in.
services?
They thought it was a marital dispute.
who's the judge? Who's is this going to is
No,
this going to
that's
court?
why they didn't understand what was going on. There was like, I guess she's
Judge
talking
Judy.
to her
I guess we just
house
don't
Judge-
understand
about
here.
the kid not going to school or something. I don't know.
I gotta say though that first episode of Visions in season 1, that's my favorite. That is my favorite. Love it. Okay, so talk real quick about the main villain, Noble. He was pretty good.
His name is Francis.
Okay, bro, he will forever be
Francis.
Francis. But yeah, he was pretty good. Typical
For
mustache
Dario.
twirling villain. Once again, I just don't like the Nazi outfit. I don't care. Like everything else seems so sci-fi, and
bit
then that
much.
just seems so human. Like I don't know, that kind of stood out. But anyway, his performance.
It's
was pretty
yeah.
good,
I think the character was a little too. I wish he played. It should be a little more surprising and impactful. It's like we've seen the guy that's like, "Hey, if I tell you, will you let me go?" Of course. And then they kill. It's like, dude, they did it exactly.
oh, they're literally copying the opening scene of *Inglourious Bastards*. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
they're-
And it's like, okay, you could play with that a little bit more with the writing, make him a little more of a personality rather than, I wish there was a little more personality with him. Honestly, it's like,
Well,
okay,
like
he just wants to
out
do
of all
bad.
the-
Yeah.
out of all the performances I've seen him, I mean, I don't see enough movies. I mean, we've seen like a bunch of big budget films from him. Like he was the freaking. Remember, he went from the Transporter one time to being.
Oh yeah,
the
refueled
Francis.
transporter. Yeah, yeah. He left
All I
Game of
ever
Thrones
known-
for that shit.
Oh yeah, and then he became Francis, my favorite, and then
He's good. He's a good guy. He's a good
oh
actor.
no, I like him. I mean, I don't. I think he just plays the same villain. I feel, and then every time I see his face, I just think of Francis. I keep expecting Deadpool to come out and see like, "Oh Francis, oh Francis." I'm like, oh, it's just
The bad
every
thing
time I see him.
yeah, the bad thing was also funny because in the middle of the firefight, he's like reaching out for this bat and he just like holds it up like a victory. It's like, all right, dude, they're shooting at you, bro.
This thing,
I'm
this
down with
bat
the bat.
yeah.
But I guess it's to direct the ship, I guess. I don't know.
I don't understand that bat thing because it's like it's directed like it's supposed to be like this really like powerful weapon, like a giant mace or whatever. But it's like it's a bat. Like it's
Yeah, that's useless in like with all these weapons. And did you see the size of Blood Axe's gun when he met the people? Like, gun is huge.
Right, exactly.
He's walking around and he's like crawling to get a bat in the middle of a firefight. It's like, bro,
like what
get your priorities straight.
Like seriously,
Someone,
that's why I felt like his costume.
that
like,
bat better be like it's made out of like his mother's bone or something. They better reveal that.
Out of the same stuff that Darkseid used in the Snyder cut when he was making that crater into the ground or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can anyone explain to me though what was up with that tentacle thing that he was?
Oh my god, that's
just cool. That's just cool. I dig that.
That reminds me of that scene from Rogue One. That reminds me that
I hated that scene so much. I hated it. God, it brought back nightmares of that disgusting tentacle thing in Rogue One.
I thought it was cool in Rogue One.
We better not get an extended scene of that in the director's cut. I swear to God.
I want to see him put those tubes everywhere.
Oh God. No.
I wanted a 5-minute scene of that.
Did somebody say Japanese?
Do it, Snyder.
He
said it's a different movie. I want an art house like weirdo movie.
He put some hentai in this stuff.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
I make the villain interesting. That's a personality, bro. Let me tell you.
It certainly is. All right, Max is waiting to talk about them. Let's talk about the Blood Axes.
Biggest disappointment, but I think there'll be more in
He had the best scene.
The best scene?
Yeah. I like when he just stares at the other dude, Gunner, and he was silent. I like that.
That's the best scene?
I thought that was my favorite scene. I liked it.
Shut up.
I'm not kidding. That was like a good character stuff. I was like, why he agrees to do it. I was like, okay, that's cool. I dug that.
Yeah, I was excited to see Ray Fisher in this movie, and they were hyping up the Blood Axes so much with the publicity, and they even have like a book. Like they had a book, with the backstory of the Blood Axes or what they've been doing before the events of this movie. So I was like, oh, they're going to be big characters in this universe going forward, and then they kill them off in part 1.
That's pretty dope.
That was
well, not both of them.
They kill Ray Fisher's character off, but like they were.
What was the other one doing?
She's off on her own adventure.
I didn't understand that. Ray Fisher is probably one of the bigger names in this movie, and they kill him off in the first movie.
In the first movie, like
him and Charlie Hunnam.
That's really funny.
Charlie Hunnam, they kill him off.
They kill him off by like a no-namer too. It wasn't like a big character. They killed him. It was like the pilot.
Did you like the twist he did with Charlie Hunnam that he turned on everybody?
Funny. I'm telling you,
that was stupid.
Funny.
Oh wait, I have a theory.
Sense. Like he would make a lot of money by rounding up all so basically he was the smartest person in the movie. He basically like, yeah, I'll help you round up all these people that are against the mother planet or something. And he's like, and then I turn them in for money.
It was also like ridiculously easy to get a hold of them. They came to them, right? Like they were just like, what? How did they meet? They met up so quickly and so easy. There was nothing. They just showed up. It's like they 2 visits. One guy knew where they were. He was like, okay. They even make that a plot point where it's like, well,
wait, prove this. Who said this? Who confirmed this?
I have a theory.
The Army of the Dead connection, obviously the space vagina.
I don't care about the Army of the Dead connection. I don't care.
Well, space vagina answers everything, so as they tend to do.
I want to go bring this comment back. I have a theory. He's probably I don't think his character's dead. They're probably giving some cybernetic enhancement.
Yes.
So, like cyborg.
Yep.
So
that's so unnecessary.
It's gonna look exactly like Cyborg, but
make
green.
Him like Cyborg.
That is
exactly
so
like Cyborg, but green. It'll be hilarious.
That is so whack.
And then,
green center.
And then he comes in, kills a guy, kills some people, and then goes, "Booyah!"
Then he gets eaten by the bird.
I know it's on the nose, but I mean, I want to see more Ray Fisher, please.
Stop it. Get some help.
I do though. I do.
I don't know what that's badass, Joe. Look at that image
Look at
there.
that. Look at that idiot.
That's acting. Come on.
You know,
acting
the-
in the pajamas.
I'd wear that to the club.
The best way to enjoy this movie for me was watching this.
Oh,
and
look
then
what he-
then immediately going to see Aquaman afterwards.
That's exactly what I did. That's what I did, and I ended up enjoying Aquaman quite a bit. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But
Yes.
At 10:30 p.m.
10:30 p.m. Can we exit Joe's? Thank you. But okay. I am excited that Blood Axe. Man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm just confused.
I know exactly what's going on. This movie broke you.
It did. It really did.
It's too good. It's too epic.
Hmm.
Couldn't handle it.
All right, moving on. Jimmy. I thought, man, I love
My guy.
Jimmy in this.
Jimmy's
I
awesome.
can't.
He surpassed my expectations.
Sir Anthony Hopkins doing the voice. That was great. He had like one of the most fascinating, development.
Like blood ass.
He was what?
Just the
Blood-
grassy comment made me
said blood ass.
If you're bleeding from your rectum, please go see a doctor.
Yeah.
Please do.
The more you know. If you have blood ass, go.
Don't be
But-
monologuing about your past and how you were raised as a soldier. Just go to the hospital.
But yeah, Jimmy was really, really cool. I'm sure everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, he's just copying the droid from. It's a mixture of the droid from Rogue One and the Mandalorian." Shut up. Just shut up.
Ooh.
I don't look, man. This was a cool droid, man. It had some really cool stuff. So it used to be. So what it was really interesting about Jimmy was that he's a droid that used to be like a I guess he used to be like a soldier. I guess used to fight and stuff like that. And he was now he's programmed to not harm anybody, at least until towards the beginning of the movie where he shot somebody dead accidentally. But I thought all that was really fascinating. He's not in the movie that much. He's literally just set up for part 2, which I'm like, wow, okay, great. This entire movie just feels like setup. That's all it feels like. Like, can't you give us some payoff in this movie? Some of it. You don't have to hold back everything. Like,
I guess out of all the movies that we got as part ones,
Ray Fisher.
Spider-Verse and Mission Impossible are the better ones, and Fast X and this
Well,
one are the worst.
But back to Jimmy. I thought that another hilarious shot was that shot where he's just wearing the horns after the returning home. When they're coming home and he's just wearing, it looked like they were like partying and shit. And now the adults are coming back and he's like, all right, he's like telling everyone shit. He's like, all right, the adults are back. Stop it. It's like, I didn't understand. Why is he wearing like all this stuff?
because
What
he's a
happened to-
warrior now.
What did that have
You
to do
guys
with the
make me
story?
want to watch Rebel Moon again. I'm going to watch it again right after this.
Maybe they'll explain that in the extended cut.
Because I was trying to like remember the story he told that lady
Yeah, right. Yeah.
before the assault, and I was like, how does this connect to that? And I couldn't find it. So if anyone could connect that for me.
Speaking of that girl, there was this whole like thing about the princess Issa, is that her name?
Elsa.
No, it ain't no Elsa.
Oh,
Let it go.
I don't know. There was a lot of snow. I saw a lot of snow
It's
with
just
that princess.
Just a coincidence.
That was cocaine from the
Just a
director's
coincidence?
room.
Okay.
So they're saying this princess Issa has special powers and she's supposed to bring peace to the galaxy. I think.
Leia?
I don't know.
I barely remember what happened.
I say all that to say that I wouldn't be shocked that that girl in the beginning of the movie. I wouldn't be shocked if that ended up being Princess Issa. It seems very telegraphed that that's her, but I could be wrong. It could be somebody different in the part 2 if they are expanding on it in part 2. But it's just like, interesting. very coincidental that this droid is giving his backstory to this one girl that looks very similar to that Princess Issa in the backstory that they gave with Korra.
Oh God, I didn't even think of that. Oh,
You know, just
please
saying.
don't leave that
But
lady alone. She's been through enough.
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I think it was Cora.
Oh, okay. So one last thing we got to talk about.
Might have been Ray Fisher. I don't know.
I forget his name. Korra's father at the very end, setting up that he's going to be he's the bigger baddie for part 2, and he's sending Francis after him to bring him back to that.
Yeah,
guy.
I don't like his character. I mean, there's little of him, but that's where I was like, when they set up the premise, the last 10 minutes of the one villain is still alive, and then her father or whatever, her adopted father. I'm just
Yeah, he looked like he had way too many Botox injections. His face just looked weird.
It looked very strange. And once again,
You're in
$88 million.
space.
$88 million, but yeah, let's
Oh,
see.
it had
You're
the
in
same
space.
budget as the creator.
Yeah. And we see how
Oh.
great that
Don't
movie
do that.
looked. We see how great that movie looked.
Movie.
Dude,
Yeah.
the creator was made by that guy who's like started off doing his own effects and stuff.
With Gareth
It's not
Edwards,
fair.
yes.
Yeah, he.
Oh,
does his
actually,
own.
I
He's really good
double
with it.
checked the
his talent, anyway.
budget. I double checked the budget. It's actually 166 million.
That's split
That's
between
split.
both movies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Is that including the extended rated R directors? More
It
slow mo
has
cut?
to. Of
I'm
course, it
sure
has to.
because I'm sure he started out making that rated R cut, and then they edited it down to PG-13. So yeah,
Okay.
You think this started off as a show or is it always a movie?
I think it was always a movie.
Okay.
I think so.
Maybe it should have been a show.
It feels like a show sometimes.
Maybe it
Like
should
The
have been.
Gladiator.
It would have
Yeah.
it would have got more out of the characters, and it wouldn't felt so rushed.
Yeah, and I know, like, he was probably thinking, but Seven Samurai, but Magnificent Seven, like,
Bug's Life.
say what'd you say?
Bug's Life.
Bugs Life.
Bugs. Oh, Bug.
The ants pick the food. The grasshoppers eat the food. That's what they were doing.
my
And then I gotta go
God.
get the warriors.
My
I don't want the
mind
grasshoppers to step in my
blown.
head.
It is a Bug's Life. Oh my God.
Wow, I just noticed that.
Oh man.
Cora's Flick. Francis is Hopper. Who's Heimdall? I'm a little butterfly.
Ray Fisher.
I'm about to leave. I'm about to leave.
Oh man.
More like ants.
That is funny. I'm making a short out of that. Anyway, yeah, the whole thing with Korra's father, that felt very corny and weirdly placed. And once again, the costume work for the Imperium, it feels like it's not supposed to be in this world. It feels like a mixture of Game of Thrones and Bridgerton. Like, why are they wearing this royalty weird stuff? It's supposed to be science fiction, and then Francis is wearing Nazi uniforms. What is this? What is this? Like,
It's just like the ultimate science fiction, but it doesn't have the length to justify transitioning the styles. You know what I'm saying? I could see where if like they cut to, let's say a mother world or whatever, and it's like done in this sort of Victorian sci-fi way, it's like you could bridge these sort of gaps to help transition with the styles. But if you're just like jumping through them so fast, then it's like, whoa, this is like a cosplay, like marketing thing. I don't know. That's, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. And then what's up with those guys with the red outfits and the mask and the silver mask? What are they? Who are they?
I don't know. They're just hanging out.
Dark
Just hanging
Sisters.
out.
They look like some royal Death Eaters.
Zack
from Harry
Snyder
Potter.
knows. Zack Snyder knows when you're like, if you're a bad guy walking around, like the head bad guy has to have like weirdos walking behind them in space.
They feel
movies.
like a
this is
mixture
part of-
between. They feel like a mixture between those Imperial guards and like those little dudes from Squid Game.
and the Death Eaters from Harry Potter.
Just watch Jupiter Ascending. That's like Sailor Moon.
I guess.
Yeah. So and like I think that was another. Those people were also kind of hyped up a little bit before the movie came out, and they do nothing. They bring Francis back to life, and that's it. Oh, but they'll do more in part 2 or the extended cut. Man,
I don't know what the extended cut could really do with a lot of the scenes. I'm hoping it does, but it's like I've seen the character interactions, I've seen like the writing, like there's no reason for some of the stuff in the beginning and what is said. So it's like I don't even think Snyder would have done. I think it's going to be like not more character stuff, but just like more little branches that they go off and do. And now here's this scene. Now there's more of this scene. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know.
See,
I don't see what the character stuff is going to be adding to it when specifically when the main movie is about collecting these people, right? You know, I don't know.
That's what it kind of felt like because it doesn't feel like a movie. It's just like, oh yeah, let's have basically an hour and a half, the first hour and a half of bringing these people together, and then to fight this, well, quote unquote, do this quote unquote final battle, I guess. It doesn't feel like an actual movie. I don't even think the extended
Come
edition
on,
would do
Degrassi.
much of it.
also,
You
I'm,
know?
I'm not a Snyder hater
It's
now.
like if the interactions,
I'm a Snyder
unless the
hater.
interaction is like, hey, why didn't we bring that bird? There's, you know,
like
stuff like that.
when you think of like movies like that did this, like Guardians of the Galaxy, they brought all those people together in just like one circumstance. They're in a prison all together now, and I don't know.
Yeah, there
I
was
don't
a
know what
little
the
bit more creativity than like, we're gonna scoop these people up with like no.
yeah. I don't know
One of
if
them has
like
to
bringing
fight a spider.
randos from different planets can actually make it all that interesting. Like can we just get to another fight scene? Like shoot a laser or something. Like
There needs to also be, I feel, a variety in the action scenes. It's like I felt like they had all the same tone,
Yeah.
editing style, same, everything was the same. Shootout and then or hand to hand, shootout, hand to hand. It's like let's get some chases. You know, there's different things you could do in space.
Get some dogfights in space.
Yeah, dude, like there's different things you could do. There was one really cool part I really loved in the end fight where that lady's jumping from ship to ship. It's like little stuff like that is really cool in the platform. You know, it just a little bit of variety. It all felt kind of very samey when it came to the action. Very samey. And I could feel that Snyder probably purposefully has to hold back because he knows this isn't, I can't go all out. I need to go all out for the final scene. I need to do the big war. That's where hopefully that's where it's going to shine. So, I could see him being in a hard place. Was like, I can't go all out. So what can I do? I guess I'll just do a couple shootouts, slow motion. But it's like
Nonsense.
do a couple. I guess the bird scene is an action scene, but a little bit more variety when it came to the action would have been nice.
Well, is there anything else you guys want to bring up, talk about before we start closing things out?
I'm gonna watch it again and enjoy it. People are all
Of course you are.
overly critical. It's just an average sci-fi movie.
Um,
I just do. You know what?
Agree with that. Well, I
I
think it's our job to
I'll
be
say
overly
one-
critical in this stream.
I'll just
I agree with
I'll just
that.
say one more thing.
I think it's fine.
I just think that when it comes to Zack Snyder, I just feel like he's just stuck. I am so tired of director's cuts now. Ever since the Snyder cut, I'm so
I
sick
love
of this
the
whole.
director's cuts.
I mean, I don't mind them. It's just when you have a movie, just stick with a version or maybe two. You can't have different versions of different movies. Like they have that same stuff with like Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse had that issue. Like they have like different versions of a movie in like different theaters, which I was like, okay, that was stupid. Blade Runner had like 50,000 cuts. Watchmen have like 3 cuts. I'm just like, can you
Blade
just
Runner
stick with
has
one?
like 3 different cuts.
Oh, I don't. It's what it's like. stick to one version, and that's it. Because I'm really getting tired of those.
If you're
And
going to make multiple cuts too,
Well, then we have to ask the studios to let the directors release the cuts they want for that. So
well,
I
yeah,
think,
they
I think
should.
they should, but that's not going to happen. So that's why directors' cuts exist a lot of the times because they have to.
yeah,
That's
and
why
it's just
that's what really Scott thrives on them damn directors' cuts.
But can the theatrical cuts be good if you're going to do a theatrical cut? Make sure it's properly edited, or if you can't do
Yeah.
it, don't do it at all. Like,
and,
Yeah, I agree
and
with you. I
also
saw
I
Napoleon.
just
I saw Napoleon. That thing was cut up to crap. You could tell. Like it just felt like so rushed and all over the yeah.
and also I feel like Zack
But it's
Snyder
long.
is kind of stuck with this director's cut thing. I just feel like this is only. I mean, like you said this
you do
before. This was only a reason that Netflix chopped this stuff down just to capitalize on the Snyder train, on the Snyder fans. This hey, we
Nothing
gotta
wrong with that.
PG. I mean, I guess money wise, is business wise, whatever. But I
The
don't think
Snyder
that's
fans want to
even
do
worth.
it. Let them do it.
James Cameron says he wants to do it too.
Yeah.
It's stupid. I feel it's like just you have a good if you're wanting to start a franchise, just put out the best product possible, and not just. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
Thank you,
I,
Cyber
I
Sauce, for holding it down. The one guy in the chat that says, "Oh hell, Snyder."
this
Oh, there you
movie.
go.
There's no reason to do it. It's on Netflix. There's no.
yeah.
It's not a theatrical cut. It's not going to theaters other than 4 countries. There's no physical release. It's on Netflix. Like it's
I under,
pointless.
I understand
Alright.
you guys think this, but it is not to the Snyder guys. The Snyder like this is a new thing. They like the director's cut thing. They loved fighting for BVS's Ultimate Edition. They loved telling people, no, the cut you saw is wrong. This is what Netflix wanted. They wanted this again. They wanted the people that love this movie to start like fighting for that director's cut when it starts coming out. And if the Snyder people want it, then let them have it. It's for them. This is for them. I mean, it doesn't take it away. Like we all had a choice not to see this and wait for the director's cut.
Can I ask you this question? After your thoughts on this, a lot of people seem disappointed. Are you going to watch the extended cut?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes, I
yeah,
am.
yeah. I would be. I
Absolutely.
would because
I've
I'm
seen-
only.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a lot of good
I
stuff in there, for sure.
yeah. I
In this
would.
cut, yeah.
I would watch it. I just don't. I don't. There's a good movie in there. I just don't really see the point in a cut down film on Netflix. I just don't see the point. But
I'm telling you, it's specifically for the Snyder people. They like
You
that.
know what?
But
You know
here's the
what?
problem.
You
Here's
know what
the
it does
problem.
help. It helps with those viewer numbers, like a shorter movie get
See,
lots
and
of
Snyder
views
people will
worldwide.
say all this stuff and how it's doing that. This is what it's for. It's for this.
But okay. Here's my issue with that though. They're trying to replicate that Snyder Cut movement without properly understanding why that happened in the first place.
They
We've
kinda
They don't
already
care.
did.
It's working. They don't
Yeah,
care.
it's already
It's
working.
working.
Like,
It doesn't
I
matter.
don't think they really
But
need
wouldn't
to
they
know.
have better success if they started out with the rated R
we're going to be
cut?
talking about it for months
We
until
don't
we see
know.
the extended cut.
We don't know.
But-
No, it
but
worked,
we're
dude.
getting a part one
Everyone
and
is
part
defending.
two.
Everyone's saying this is not the real cut. It's going to be so much better. Like it absolutely worked.
But you're
Oh.
just you're just exemplifying the flaws of Snyder as a filmmaker.
No.
Because
It's always
this-
talked about.
Okay, maybe the films themselves. We're talking. This is what Snyder people want. This is what they want. He's giving it to them. He's doing like they want the rigmarole of
Snyder
the
fans
cut. This
want-
cut. They want to be mad at the critics and say that this is what they want. They built communities off doing this. Like and Snyder is giving it to them again. They get to ride that
And
wave.
it's getting views
again.
What they should
worldwide.
want
It is a
is-
success with the
Yes.
viewership.
what
At
they
least for
should-
now. We'll see if it holds up for another week.
What they should want is to see Snyder's full vision without any compromise. That was the point of releasing the Snyder Cut in the first place. With them doing this again for no reason other than to get people to talk about it more. We're getting a part one and part two. We're getting
What excuse am I giving?
comic books. We're getting video games. We're getting shows. They're trying to put this in the popular zeitgeist as it is. You don't need to do this artificial thing of having two different cuts. because you want this to be a global phenomenon. They want this to be popular with everyone else. Like they're lying to themselves that they don't want that.
What if the movie sucks and that's why they have to do it like this?
Why did they
No.
put so much money?
Yeah. What if even the directors? I'm just saying this is hypothetical that I've thrown out. What if the huge they saw that director? Oh my god! And they're like, "Fuck, man, we could do the
If
Snyder
you're
Cut
upset
thing."
But
about,
you
if you-
I'm
released
just
six
saying, what if?
underground.
I'm just saying, what if?
But you
Maybe-
released 6 underground. You released those babysitter movies. You released all this other shit on Netflix.
But that
That's
wasn't
bad.
Snyder that had
But
the
then
Snyder
you
Cut thing.
think this
No,
is
but
okay.
that Michael Bay doesn't have a Snyder Cut history. Like they're literally using Snyder's
Oh,
and
but that-
figure
but
drawing. What
here's-
excuse am I making? I'm just saying the reality of it.
No,
And
but
I'm
here's
just saying
the
that
thing.
if the Snyder Bros are happy with it, who cares?
But
They
this,
want
see,
to
look,
do
this
this. If
is
they want to do
the
it like
thing
this,
is with the
if they
Snyder.
want to do
see-
fight for a theatrical cut, then fight for a director's cut. Then what? Who cares?
No, see, you got to think about the Snyder Cut movement. You gotta realize what that came from. Remember just when they were filming Justice League, the tragedy happened. And then they were just kind of they brought Joss Whedon in. And they were just stitching this movie together, and then we got this Frankenstein film, which I'll admit it is a Frankenstein film that it was back in 2017. Like you gotta realize what that movement kind of came from. This is just artificial. This isn't organic. Like this is not. It's just an artificial
doesn't
thing that
matter.
they're doing.
I thought the whole point of Zack Snyder going to Netflix is that he had complete control over the IP, what was the cut, and what was released. Has that
Yeah.
changed?
No,
Okay.
no. He just made the deal. He's still
So
getting
you-
his
so you-
director's cut out.
Oh,
He's
what's the
still
deal?
getting
What's
that
the
cut out.
deal? What's the deal? What's the
He
deal?
made okay. I don't know. I'm assuming that the deal was, hey, can we do this theatrical cut and we'll let you do whatever director's cut you want
Why?
to capitalize on Snyder, which is what I've been saying. Like the
That's what
Snyder cut.
He
people.
admitted that. He said,
Yeah.
"Yeah, they can let me do
DL,
whatever
if
I
you're
want." in the other
broken
cut.
by this, wait until part 2.
I don't understand. Like I'm not
extended
trying to
cut.
give
Guys,
like
it's a-
judgment to that. I'm just stating the fact that
He
that's
might have phoned
probably
it in
might
for
have
this
what
cut.
happened.
He
I
might have
keep
phoned it in
forgetting.
for this cut.
I'm not giving judgment. I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying what I think it is. You know?
I keep forgetting. We got to sit through the PG-13 cut of part 2 as well, and then they're gonna do a director's cut of that as well. And I'm like, God,
Yes.
fuck me,
Fuck,
man.
Forgot about that.
I'm hoping that they don't. I'm hoping that they don't. I'm
They
just
have to.
hoping
They
they just
are.
release.
If they just release one cut for part 2, fans are going to say, "Release the extended cut."
They might even.
they don't
you know what?
know.
They might even
No,
do
no,
that
no,
on
no.
purpose.
Like
They might even do that on purpose.
instead of releasing the PG-13 cut of part 2, just release the director's cut of part 2, and so we don't have to go through this garbage again.
Nah. they're
Well,
not
no,
gonna do that.
no, because we're gonna
It's not
do
going to
it.
happen because
All
then
the people are
fans
gonna
will
do
be.
it.
Oh my
Netflix
god!
screwed up Zack's vision.
This is what. But I don't understand. They're giving the customers, the Snyder Bros, what they want. That's what they want to do.
DL, just
I don't understand
prepare
where's the negative.
a stream
aspect?
for the week of April 30th of 2024. You know,
Oh, we
Yeah.
will. Oh, I will. Don't
just
worry
do it
about
now.
that.
Do it now. You
This-
deserve that week.
Yeah, I will. This director's cut better be good. It better be good. I swear to God. I don't want to come
If it's
back
not,
on.
you know why they did it like this. This marketing.
Wait a second. Go ahead with that again, DL. What?
This director's cut of Rebel Moon better be great.
Or what?
Better be great. Or I'm done with Snyder.
Oh no!
I'm done.
No,
No,
I'm
you got to
serious.
do
No,
one
you're
more.
not.
No, I'm serious. No, I am
I don't-
serious.
I don't
I am
threat.
done with Snyder.
No,
If
you're
the
not. What does that mean? You're never going to see a movie from him?
No,
Yes, you
You're
will.
not going to see a movie from
Yes, you
Snyder.
will.
I'm done. I'm done.
No.
I am done.
Please,
No.
please.
No.
Did you ever say that about Michael Bay? You like Snyder more than Michael Bay. You'll watch a Michael Bay movie.
You are so
I mean,
gonna watch
I mean,
Yeah,
another
this is
movie because I'm
bullcrap.
gonna make
There's
you watch
probably
it.
worse
Like, let's
directors
do a
out there
review.
that
Let's
you've
do a
watched.
review.
You're going to watch their movie.
You have to watch the Michael Bay Turtle movie.
You freaking watch M. Night movies. You hate that guy.
Or else.
I stopped. I told you I stopped after Old. I'm not watching it.
After old, after
I'm
old.
done. I'm done. A movie I didn't finish too. I just still didn't finish.
Look how long it took.
honestly, I would rather watch Transformers: The Last Snyderverse.
Okay. All right.
But okay, this is all emotion,
That's pretty
whatever.
base, Blue
But
Jay.
I
I
will
like
be
it.
I will be really mad if the director's cut comes out and it's not good. I'm gonna be really mad. Anyway, we're closing this. out.
Longer
Overall-
isn't always better. That's what she said.
That's a
motion.
lie.
It's about the motion of the ocean.
Oh wait, what?
That's a lie that women tell their husbands to get more money at the end of the week when payday rolls around, or
Oh,
get that new Birkin bag. Just saying.
Ooh, Rooster's a little red pill today.
Brario is
My
throwing
God,
heat.
what's with that red pill stuff?
I don't know, man.
Second day in a row.
I don't know,
Like,
man. It's the truth. It's the truth. But anyway, let's just close this out. Overall,
I'm gonna watch it right after this.
I'm not good for you. Good for you, Max. I'm glad you're liking it more than I am. I don't hate Snyder. You know, I'm not a hater.
Yeah.
I have not given up on him yet.
Yet, but you threatened to.
Yeah, man. This is really a bummer, man.
Let me just say one more thing before you end that.
Sure.
Close out. You are allowed to like Rebel Moon and Aquaman. It's possible. Just saying. You don't have to like one or the other.
Right. I wanted to.
What?
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah,
Man.
there's some weird stuff going on.
Some weird going on. Or like you can like Godzilla -1 and be excited for Godzilla X Kong to do Empire. That's possible.
Or you can hate on -1 and be excited for the next Godzilla.
Yeah, I know how you feel. But yeah, man, it's like this is not an awful movie. I don't think this is horrendous. I do have a lot of criticisms, but it is a watchable sci-fi film. It is competently made for the most part. But I feel like it's lost a lot of its potential because it was chopped down to be this family friendly PG-13 version, which is really not. Like this PG-13 version really felt like a waste of time. I think we should have just started out with the rated R cut and actually see the entirety of the storylines and see the brutal violence like it was intended to be. This whole artificial snot. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
We got Wonka out there. We can't do that.
I just said
Wonka's handing out chocolate to kids, and you want to rated R this? No,
because Rebel Moon does not have to appeal to the same audience as Wonka or The Color Purple or Aquaman or none of that or Star Wars. It does not have to be Star Wars.
Wonka was better than Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Ooh.
Okay,
the
sir.
first one?
Hold on a minute.
Yes.
No.
Wait a minute.
I'm removing him on that. That's
yes.
Hey, no censorship. Bring him back. Bring Mario back.
That's
the first half of that first movie is so boring.
You're so boring.
Took him forever to get that freaking ticket.
Talk about it's got to build up.
No,
you
too
build up, man.
It was so boring. I was just
oh my god, such horrible takes.
I like I like Tim Burton one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That had the best.
You gotta be kidding, chocolate. You cannot be serious.
Tim Burton is a genius.
This is how you know we need the hot take show back.
And Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory does not hold up.
Tim Burton should make a movie in the Rebel Moon universe.
It holds up just as well as the Wizard of Oz.
You're biased.
It is one of my favorite films of all time. But yeah, man, I really want to care for the characters. There's not enough development with the characters. The world building is interesting, but they didn't dive into the different species and how the world works and how the system of their politics and stuff like that didn't go into that. Like, it just felt like a lot of stuff is missing. And I'm hoping the director's cut comes out, and I'm loving it. But right now, I'm just like confused. I'm frustrated. I'm conflicted. Snyder, I'm not loving him as much as I used to. I don't want to come back here and say that I don't like Snyder anymore. But just like, it's clear that he should not be doing everything by himself. He should not be writing this stuff by himself. He should not be doing the cinematography by himself. He should be doing everything by himself. He works best when he's with a collaborative effort with other people. So it's just like, I don't know, man.
With oversight?
With oversight, yes.
There you go.
Yes. But just, I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel.
Snyder beyond reproach.
I'm giving Rebel Moon a C+. That's the best I can give it, man. It hurts me to give it that, but like, it's just average. That's slightly above average, I guess, because it still has that Snyder flair that makes it a bit unique, I guess. And his eye on sci-fi is a bit interesting, but he's held back a lot. And he doesn't need to be held back because it's Netflix. Anyway,
Yeah, I saw Full Frontal Nudity on Netflix many times and many.
Look how much David Fincher's having fun with Netflix shit.
Exactly. Like this waste of time. Anyway, Perp, your final thoughts and grade.
Yeah, I thought it was probably I laughed a lot. I thought it was the funniest movie of the year. I'd give it a solid B. It was legitimately really funny at points. Some of the slow motion, I dig it. Pretty good. Aliens looked cool.
All right, Lucifer. Okay.
Is he texting it?
I don't know.
Bruce.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Do you have final thoughts and grades?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What happened?
We're grading it. You're
I'm
not
grading it.
out of. He doesn't.
What are you doing?
I'm going to give it
C
a.
plus,
You operating on someone? What are you doing?
B plus, A plus, A minus.
I was writing a thesis for my next project.
Okay.
What the hell?
It's right a thesis for his next project.
I'll give it a B minus. It could have been better. It was held back by the way this movie was edited, and I was looking forward to seeing a lot more Ray Fish in this movie, unfortunately, than what we got. And I wanted space battles. Was it too much to ask for space battles in the first movie?
Yeah,
Space battles.
I'll take a speeder chase somewhere. I don't know. There was a lot of
Wasn't there a
fields.
speeder
You could have done a
chase?
speeder chase in the fields that you were in, maybe.
I don't know. But that's my grade.
Okay, and then Max, you gave it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll do the letter grades. I guess. Is it B minus or C plus? I don't know.
Yeah, this is the B minus. This is the C plus.
I
give it a higher grade than you, Max.
You doing C plus?
Yeah.
Max, I gave it a higher grade than you.
Great.
You said I'm a hater.
I was joking.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Blue Jay, final thoughts and grade.
Oh, you don't need to skip Blue Jay.
Yeah. You should do that. Yeah. I can't say it's awful. I mean, I've definitely seen worse, but I mean, hey, I still stand by this. In terms of Zack Snyder films being cut down, Justice League is better. Just at least it flows well. This doesn't flow well for me. Yeah, hot takes, yeah, whatever. There's like I said, there's some cool stuff in it, but that's really, I feel like that's not enough. It's a bad movie. I give it a 4.
Holy shit!
It's
Is
a
this
bad
your first
movie.
D plus on your reviews, DL?
I gave a D plus on other movies before.
Okay.
Yeah, this movie is pretty bad. It's there's nothing but like just planet hopping to grab these people up, where you can just do that in like the first 40 minutes and just get on with the plot. But I guess take your sweet time, I guess, if you want to, until part 2, until the extended cut. And like I said, it's on motherfucking Netflix. Okay, I ranted out enough. Not a good film. I'm just gonna wait till the part 2 comes out and hopefully be better, and hopefully you don't try to chop that one off, which I'm assuming they might do that again.
I'm sure it's already done. It's already done.
To. It's
Watch
too
it,
good.
might watch.
Too much discussion around it. They have to.
If oh my god, if that extended, I'm telling you, if DL, if you ever watch the extended edition, if it's just going to be the same film but just extended to 3 hours, and it's just everything is just slow motion.
Yeah,
it's a completely different movie.
Even the dialogue.
Yeah, I could tell. I could tell.
When the space princess. was
You know-
12 sheep.
You know
Can
what
I
would be
like
funny?
Had a
If
bird that was
get a
dead.
copy of this movie so I can
And
spit out some
then
of this
the princess brought
you
the
know what would be funny
bird back
if
to life.
what would be funny if they the rated R
Some
extended
say
cut
I'm a princess.
it, if it was written by James Gunn.
It probably would have been a better movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, call him up. Call up your old buddy and say, hey,
I admit
teach me about
that
structure.
James Gunn is a better writer director combo than Zach.
Yeah, I mean, he did
There's,
help him.
there's
in Dawn of
directors
the
who
Dead.
try it, and yeah, he's superior writer director.
Well, that is our thoughts on the PG-13 version of Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire.
Yes, and it all comes down to this is Kathleen Kennedy's fault.
Always.
She should have accepted it.
Exactly. Even though she
Idiot.
wasn't.
Yeah, even though she should have done it. She's like, I have nothing to do with Lucas.
Honestly, yeah, before we
She could've
close
stayed.
out, if picture if he did, let's we were in a different multiverse and Zack Snyder
Mhm.
pitched this to Lucasfilm and he ended up making this a Star Wars film.
Yeah.
Do you see the potential in him doing a Star Wars movie like this? Somewhere like
no,
It
no.
wouldn't matter
He
how.
laughed.
It wouldn't
Yeah.
matter
Blue
how
Jay
good.
laughed and answered.
Wouldn't
The
matter how
lightsaber-
good or bad his movie would be. Star Wars fans will hate it because Star Wars fans are the biggest hater of Star Wars movies.
I think Zach with
You're
real
not wrong.
lightsabers
You're not
and the
wrong.
Jedi and stuff would have made the villains cooler. Yeah, I think it would have been a really good Star Wars movie.
He would have had to change that first like 30 minutes because it's exactly like Star Wars, like the cantina and all that. You think he would have done that again? You think he would have had another cantina scene to pick up a pilot?
I think what they would have done is like it would straight up be like a. I mean,
think that
since
would've
George
changed.
Lucas said that he was influenced by Seven Samurai, I think Snyder would do like a Seven Samurai with the different characters of Star Wars, and like since they have that backstory with Korra being a former soldier of the Imperium, maybe in the Star Wars version, she would be a former Imperial officer or something like that.
Well, okay,
And then
he was the dude in red protecting the Emperor.
Yeah, he would bring together like different types of characters from Star Wars. Like he would bring like a big alien monster. He would bring a droid. She would bring a Jedi. She would bring a bounty hunter. She would bring rebel fighters. They all would fight together against like the
Space Wheat,
the Empire, or rescue a princess because Princess Issa's in here, and so like maybe that could be the story there. So I don't know.
Yeah, I did laugh. I did laugh, but all seriousness, I actually would like to see if he actually did something with Star Wars. If you kind of just, don't do just slow mo, get some color in there, lighten up the mood, enough
rid of
this
the
monotone, methodical talking. I'm like, nobody talks like this. Like,
Oh, it would have been like straight up prequel dialogue.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
The
Imagine
platform
Zack Snyder
scene
doing
gave
a
me some wasn't there some major events happening platforms in Star Wars?
Oh my!
There's some stuff
my
there. I
God.
was like, oh, I could see this
You
happening.
killed my father. I am your father. No. Or no.
The
No.
original trilogy
Better
had
yet, it would be
bad
the Henry
acting.
Cavill scream.
Oh,
If it's,
God.
if it's
Nobody's
okay,
wearing like wampa
it's
tusks.
okay, DL. I have
ones.
one news story at the end, if that's all right.
Is this was
What?
this have to do
What
with
is it? MME?
No,
I
I
bet
don't
it's
have to.
how well Rebel
It's
Moon
good
is doing
news.
on
It's
Netflix.
good news.
Yeah, it's how well Rebel Moon is doing on Netflix.
This is not how DL streams work.
Okay,
man.
never mind.
It's
Never
not
mind.
that works.
I'm right. No, let's do it.
Save it for
No,
your
no. He's
Well,
in charge. He's in charge.
Yes, I'm in charge for this evening. But anyway, let us know in the comments, what did you guys think about Rebel Moon? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was okay?
It was awesome.
Are y'all excited for the extended cut? Are y'all excited for part 2?
Yeah.
How does this compare to Zack Snyder's other work? Comment your thoughts down below and let us know. And please be civil in the comments. Please be civil. Like we're not. Yes, because I know how I see it in the chat. There's a bunch of shots being thrown at a bunch of at each other.
What?
Like there's
Calm
shots,
down, Chad. This is what Snyder does to people.
like seriously. But yeah.
No, I'm gonna fight them. I'm gonna fight them. I'm gonna fight those people in the comments. Oh boy, I'm gonna hold down the fort for you, DL.
Okay, sure. If you guys enjoyed this stream, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'm at 500 subscribers again. Yes.
All right.
Hey, congrats, buddy.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
hey, them shorts, I got some good views, bro. You better hit them watch times, but make some good money.
Oh yeah, I got I see plenty of material I can use for shorts, especially for this, and possibly be more for tomorrow. Because tune in tomorrow on my channel on MME because I'm once again taking over, and we're going to review Aquaman of the Lost Kingdom along with Brucifer all the way over there. It's gonna be a fun discussion, and if you guys want to join in, if you guys see
Now I gotta find my Aquaman
I
hat.
should have my
Oh, Green
makeover
Lantern.
done by then.
Okay, cool.
My new haircut.
Are you gonna frost your tips?
I don't know.
What?
Oh
He's getting-
my gosh.
He's getting a haircut. Get some blonde highlights.
Oh Lord.
Why isn't no one influenced by Valerian?
Because that movie was
Oh,
terrible.
Valerian sucked.
That movie was terrible.
No, it
Visuals
wasn't.
were great, but
Yeah, it was.
what do you mean, perp?
Yeah,
What about Jupiter Ascending? That was pretty good.
Uranus
No.
expanding? No.
Oh my
See,
god.
guys
perp was
just
just
don't
trying to
understand
link all
space
these
movies.
movies together.
Oh, wait,
No wonder you
wait.
didn't like Rebel Moon. You guys don't understand space.
All right,
movies.
everybody
What
needs to go
about-
see Color Purple so we can review
What
that.
about Pluto
Hey,
Nash?
color purple.
Pluto Nash was sick, bro. When that droid
I need
ran
to
out of
go.
Are
battery,
you? No, not Pluto.
Pluto Nash, when that droid
man.
when Randy Quaid ran out of
Stop.
batteries,
Just stop.
Yeah.
and he was in the
Outta
middle
here
of the
with
moon
that.
with Eddie
Wow.
Murphy holding Eddie Murphy,
Mm-mm.
like the
Oh, no.
Batman, like Batman holding Robin when he died. That scene was beautiful, man.
Oh my gosh.
Pluto Nash is underrated, honestly.
Can
No,
we end this stream this way? We
Sure.
can't bring up
Don't
You
any
guys
more
just
forget-
don't
movies.
understand space movies like I do.
Don't forget to subscribe to Blue Jay's channel, Aqua Cinema. Don't forget to subscribe to Movie Madness Entertainment. Don't
Star
forget
Wars
to
Bills or
subscribe to
something.
Kingdom of Nerds and subscribe to Little Movie Perp.
Please don't. I don't want anyone in this.
People
chat
must know who
to
you
subscribe.
are.
You guys are all
They
terrible.
must know
Always.
who you are.
Don't subscribe to my crap, please. Stay away
Yes,
from me.
please do.
I
Do
will
it.
be getting a restraining order.
But that's all we have for you, Snyder fans, Netflix fans, movie fans alike. And we will see you guys next time. Talk to you guys later. Hail Snyder!